is a good hero to have.
Yeah. I mean, it pairs up real well with a lot of different heroes, actually. And we also saw, well, there wasn't a Shadow Demon in the game that they played against Virtus Pro, one of the ones. No, it wasn't. All right. Oh no, it was the Virtus Pro game that they lost against Liquid yesterday, where there was also a Leshrac. So nice combination there. But actually, Shadow Demon with Clockwork already has a bit of a synergy there. Disruption into cogs, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when you talk about, we have a Drow ban for the second phase. The thing when you talk about Shadow Demon combinations, like with Leshrac that VP ran, or in this case with the Clockwork cogs, it's much better when your Shadow Demon is roaming around as a 5, right? But if you put him in a static off lane, he won't get too many opportunities to rotate off the lane to make those combos go. So
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure if I'm sold on the position 3 Shadow Demon.
No, we'll find out what Navi is planning to use it as we are going through the bans with indeed the Drow ban already there, which I find a little bit interesting, but I guess you don't want to get drowed, if you will. Undying is already known as a very face-passed hero. We already saw Midorfeet almost did it with an Undying, but if you want to be able to push high ground with your Undying lineup, a Drow Ranger is an easy one to have in your squad.
Yeah, what we saw out of Team Liquid was that they used that Undying as essentially a healing machine during their pushes. So that combined with the Puck first phase pick makes Drow very strong, because Drow not only makes Puck's laning very, very effective, it also gives you that mid-game push that Undying could help with. So I feel like that was a good strategy that OG was going for, but the bans were just better. We got Broodmother being banned out, as well as an Mirana.
And a Luna now as well. Shadow Demon, Luna, notorious combination. But actually, at the moment, any ROG hero would be well with Shadow Demon, right? Doesn't really matter who.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Hey, if you have a defensive disruption, oh no, never mind. Doesn't work.
5 seconds remaining.
Sorry. All good. Alright, next pick goes the way of Navi, and for the first time this series, they tick 3 seconds into their bonus time, but they pick up the Nature's Prophet nonetheless. So that is the one for General, and that kind of cements the Clockwork as support, and the Shadow Demon as support as well.
Yep. This I like more. Now, can you imagine like SD and Clockwork running around the early game, disrupting, and then the Prophet teleporting in as well? This makes it really dangerous for any OG supports running up and down the river. That's a lot of pressure already from Navi's draft. I like it a lot.
What do you think so far, Charlie?
I severely dislike Undying. And so
yeah, we saw that before.
I think it's like really hard for Undying to match the mobility of Clockwork and Prophet here. It's because Undying wants to sit in a lane and continually decay one person over and over again. But Prophet can be in multiple lanes. Clockwork is going to be roaming around. It's like the Undying is very similar to Lich in that sort of way, where Lich just wants to sit in a lane. It's very immobile, and the way you beat it is by going to multiple lanes. And so that's why I don't like this.
Maybe OG can do what Midorfeet couldn't earlier today.
I mean, this is looking like a very scary push for OG, right? You throw down the Serpent Wards, you throw down the Tombstone,
10 seconds
and Navi might have stronger roamers in the earlier phase of the game, but once the group up happens, I'm looking like this currently is a very unstoppable push.
So they need a hero that can deal with that. Is Viper one that can?
Viper could clear creeps very nicely with Nether Toxin. Although with that said, the Viper player these days aren't maxing Nether Toxin till like level 12 or something. I feel like this game you might want to put a couple more points into that earlier,
10 seconds
just to make sure that you don't get rushed down.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, and we are thinking S4 is going to play that Puck again, right?
Radiant team best.
And we have a Medusa there as well. That means if you do try to fight into that siege that's going to happen at your base, you're going to have a Stone Gaze to make sure that, well, first of all, either OG is going to be able to fight them, depending on which state they're in, of course. And otherwise, they have a good tool to just back off and buy some time for everybody to get out safe.
Not sure if I like the Medusa
5
carry,
seconds
because
remaining.
when she activates Stone Gaze, you could just disrupt her and then just reposition all on top of her.
It's true.
And Shadow Demon will always get a very good disruption target, which currently, or previously, they didn't have against OG, so...
Well, let's see what the teams are thinking about to round up their lineups. We have the bans coming in very soon. And the last pick goes to Navi this game. So they have the chance to one-up OG in the mid lane if they want. See, somewhere in the back of my mind, we saw Dendi run Ancient Apparition in the mid lane. They could run the Shadow Demon in the mid lane.
Who?
Shadow Demon.
I guess.
You don't like it?
I mean, I just see him playing the Viper. We got Gyro being banned out here. We saw, I believe, EG do a lot of Gyro Medusa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Navi will take that out.
Mm-hmm. Smart choice.
How do you feel about Medusa into Clockwork?
10 seconds remaining.
She's gonna get Pike anyways, right?
5 seconds.
I think you want Pike builders against like Prophet and Clock, so it's fine. Like she's gonna get pressure early, but in the early to mid game, it's fine. And she could still like attack within from Clock, so
That's true.
I just don't like the Medusa pick against Shadow Demon, but yeah.
We'll see if it's gonna work out. One more ban from Navi. It will give us some insight about what they are thinking the Navi still wants.
All right, OG takes out the anti-mage, which makes a ton of sense against Medusa.
Yep. Would you go for Crystallized Hero on the side of Navi for a hero that naturally builds into a diffusal or something like that?
5 seconds.
Or do you feel like that's not that needed?
I don't think you necessarily have to take the mana burn route, but diffusal buyers PO is in the pool.
Yep.
Although,
So is Weaver.
yeah, Weaver could get the mana break ability now as one of her talents. Although PO, can Medusa just like get an axe and just kill all the opponents with one go? So I'm not sure how reliant that is.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, sometimes you could just overwhelm Medusa with damage. The other day, we saw Chessie play like a safe lane Jakiro and just had such an insane amount of damage that they just killed the Medusa.
Ooh, it's an Underlord.
This is looking like a hella scary
Okay.
5-man pushing squad.
And
Seeing this, if I'm Navi, I want to go split push against this. They have 2 heroes I could catch. Shaman is not going to get blinked till
10
much later.
seconds remaining.
well, they also have a severely lack of lockdown on the side of Navi.
Yeah.
5 seconds
I mean, a lot of it is just relying on that Shaman getting a blink, right?
Is Sven an option for them for Crystallize?
You're playing Sven into Medusa.
Yeah.
No, I think you want a mobile range core that can split push and then pick.
Like what?
I do like Weaver a lot.
Yeah, Weaver's
Weaver?
fine.
Yeah.
Storm is okay too, although Storm might not have the laking and punching power required.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a lineup that I think you want to directly fight up against.
It doesn't look like it. They look very beefy. A little bit scary. What is the peak time for OG, you reckon?
For OG,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like mech on Undying,
Hmm?
and they pretty much could go whenever they want after.
Okay.
Once like ult is ready on Shadow Shaman, once Undying has his tombstone.
Because we know Undying falls off a little late game. But do you feel like OG's lineup is too worried about that? Because Medusa, doesn't really fall off at all?
I think it really depends on what Navi picks here. Medusa, there is because this is basically a single core Medusa lineup, and your carry or your no-tail hero is the Underlord. This lineup will fall off at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Medusa's also one of those heroes I could put the whole team on her shoulder though. So,
it will be a PA. Mobile, not ranged.
ooh, I don't.
You're not convinced?
I'm not convinced.
Ooh.
Because the thing about PAs is once you blink strike in, You're blink striking into a lot of things. So Navi's timing is that they're going to try to win relatively early. Once you pick up the BKB, the PA, Deso BKB rather, you're just looking to basically stop any momentum that OG has.
Yeah, I don't know where this hero is.
Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
So Navi does have a timing where I think they are going to be stronger than OG, and they have to be very precise with that timing. With that said, I like OG's draft. It's much easier to play.
It seems very fail-safe.
Yes. So I'm going to go with OG.
I'm going to go with OG as well. I think on paper, if they execute correctly, like OG should just be able to like run down a lane as 5, and it's incredibly it should be hard for Navi to fight into that. Like your core is a PA. Like he's going to be blinking into an abyssal underlord like aura. That hero is not going to do any damage.
Navi does have a lot stronger lanes, though.
Yeah,
like
I think if Navi is doing real well on their lanes, they're gonna do it. But I don't think they will. So I think I'm gonna go for OG as well. But I think it's gonna be decided in the laning stage. But let's not take our word for it. Let's hear from our casters, ODPixel and Fogs. Hear what they have to say.
Thank you very much, GVS. The final series we have OG versus Navi. OG, they need those 2 wins. VP, they'll be at home holding up the Navi fanboy flags as they are hoping that Navi can do it here. We'll see who's going to be able to take it. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Fog. And what have we got here? Well, what do we reckon, Fog? There's an Underlord, and that final pick PA. I mean, it's a bit of a scary game to pick a PA into. It's a bit tough, isn't it?
They've got a good amount of burst damage. It's mostly the control coming from the Shadow Shaman in the pit. I'm liking what OG's got going for them here. They've got this late game. They've got the way to push out the waves quickly in case something's do go wrong, and like Navi can get to the base. They've got Underlord to depush. They've got Puck to depush. They've got Shadow Shaman, and like the panel was mentioning, they've got that strong 5-man coming in with the Shadow Shaman wards. So I think go time for OG is hit 6 on Shadow Shaman and Puck. Ideally, or most of the time, I look at Undying, and this hero, we've seen it several times, especially here at DreamLeague. It just hasn't been great. However, a lot of times we see the Undying picked, there's a severe lack of lockdown.
Okay.
OG did not do that this time around at all. They have Puck, they have Shadow Shaman. These 2 heroes make up for the lack of lockdown on the Undying.
And look at this movement already from OG, ready to kick things off aggressively. As they smoke up, move over to invade Navi's jungle. Navi will be able to avoid this though. They're all up towards the top. And it looks like it'll be the classic, just 2 for 2.
Trying to scout lanes.
Bounties.
Jerax with the smoke on the left side actually gets a safe ward down. So Medusa will have very nice time in that mid lane, be able to get those snake bounces. And as we've seen, Medusa now in the mid lane is a lot better to play just because the ramps are so minuscule. Look at that mid lane ramp. It's so tiny. You are gonna get hit by snake every single time if you walk up. And we're assuming that Jerax will play around that mid lane at the start, give Rezo the best possible situation. And No-Tail should farm bottom too, so all 3 lanes for OG should farm quite nicely and not get pressured too much as long as they don't suffer from the rotations from Roger. Shadow Shaman is a buff hero though.
Yeah, quick blast from Jax to send Roger back off. Roger's going to come back in. Just passing by as it seems. As they run past and get the cogs down, trying to drain that of Rezo, but Rezo, he's far enough back, and in fact, he'll be able to farm up one of those cogs. Nice and easy goal for Rezo.
Yep. They just have to watch out for the TPs from General on OG, so they don't get punished for it. No-Tail's eating a lot of harassment bottom as well from that Nature's Prophet. Early levels, it's a little bit painful for the Underlord until you get your levels and your passive up, your Atrophy Aura. But S4, as we've seen, he, especially in that last series, was the big playmaker and the big saving grace for OG. So that's probably what we're going to see him be doing again this time around. He has a very, very favorable matchup. Puck versus PA. They can just easily push him out with that Undying as well.
I guess that's the question, but how much farm is Crystallize actually going to be able to get up in this top lane? Because it feels like if the OG play the lane nicely, it's going to be hard for him to find it. Mid lane though, Jax shackles onto Roger, Snake as well.
One more hit, do they get the shock? Oh, not in range of the shock. Very close though.
Roger's got to go back to base. Actually flying. S4, they're getting aggressive here. Look at this. So they push the lane in. Wrapping around the tower, really trying to keep this pressure on up top.
They don't want him to get free last hits on the tower. They did a decent job there too. Crystallize actually missed, I think, 3 of them. JRX as well gets a bounty rune. He gets both. OG gets all 4 bounty runes at the 2-minute mark. Both supports making the moves around.
That's bottom lane.
Starting to catch back up once he gets level 2 and 3.
Exactly what you said, yeah. At the progression in the levels.
And mid now, JRX has a DD rune. So that's a 154 damage right click from that Shadow Shaman. Very painful for Dendi and Roger to step up. Look at the denies on JRX. 2 and 7. He's going for every single one he possibly can.
Yeah, this lane's certainly getting harder and harder for Navi. And that's one out of the many free that looking to step up in difficulty is OG. Getting some good farm now on their cores. Top lane.
Crystallize is farming nicely.
Crystallize, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. But S4 still finding farm out of this, and as you say, once there's a few more levels, it's only going to get harder for Navi mid lane. Leading on to Roger. They'll pop down the cogs, but Resolution, he's locked in there with him. Bringing him down low. Dendi trying to help Roger man up, but it's not going to work for Navi as Rezo gets the first blood, taking down Roger.
I kind of want to see one of the Rezo maybe buy a bottle this time. Since JRX is having such good rune control, I think he could use that little bit extra mana. What does he bring out on the courier? Yeah, he's just going to go for boots, be able to run away from the clock. That's fine as well. I guess S4 will probably go for bottle anyway on the puck and help rune control with Fly. Fly gets the salve cancel from Crystallize there. Crystallize is going to be zoned out for a bit. And this is where S4 can catch back up in last hits. But yeah, all 3 lanes looking pretty nice for OG. No-Tail starting to get those levels up.
He's killing it. Look at the CS down there as well.
Yeah.
19 for 4 against the 12 for 9, going very well now for No-Tail in that 1v1. And for the most part, looks to stay as a 1v1. JRX is going to head down here.
He's looking for the rune. The Sprout by General. JRX, though, he's going for the kill.
Yeah, he's going to get it. All right, you take my bounty rune, I'll take your life, says JRX. As he's in and he's out, and that was not worth at all for General to try and come over and contest that rune.
Now he can haste, get the bounty, go back to base, TP back mid, help out Rezo more. Maybe he actually just gets a ward up first. Oh, he doesn't actually have one. Okay. He's just trying to get the rep on Rezo. In some trouble here. He's got Fairy Fire in his stick, though.
TP coming in as well from Fly. So Rezo's
JRX is there. He's going for Dendi.
Oh, JRX! He nearly gets it. Fairy Fire comes out, does keep Dendi alive. And JRX himself will also get out, but he's zoning Dendi out massively. Top lane S4 getting gone on. But with the orb as he escapes. There, JRX making the movements. He's really getting into this. I mean, this is what, to be fair, is it the 3rd time he's played this common today? He's had it every game.
He's angry. He's going to start stacking up some neutrals to have that for the Medusa, and they have Shrine available, so better use of time there by JRX. Quick haste rune.
Look at this down bottom as well. No, he knows he's pretty beefy now. At this stage, he can sort of get in aggressively. General throws down the Sprout. Pulling Blade is there for No-Tail, and he's just constantly shoving this lane in under the tower with the Firestorm. 32 to 12 against the 15 for 11, doubling the CS of the Nature's Prophet in this 1v1.
Yeah. And look at this, JRX. We see the circles coming up from Navi. They know that a rotation's coming down, so General has to be and will be careful to step up here. No levels of pit just yet on No-Tail. JRX trying to go for the E-through. There's phase boots on General, though. Able to scurry away.
Yeah, very hard for him to close the gap. Up top, S4 again being able to zone, Crystallize back. Crystallize is doing well, considering the pressure that OG were trying to put on him up top at the start. It's 25 CS on the PA, not bad at all.
Fly getting jumped on by Crystallize. Seneko. They're just pushing him off from the bounty runes. I think they're realizing that OG's had really good control of that. Roger versus JRX. Roger will be just fine. So will JRX.
Definitely these middle and bottom lanes being the biggest differences between OG and Navi.
No-Tail's cruising it right now. 39-16 to the 17 of General. That one quick rotation by JRX just really catapulted No-Tail forward.
And General can do very little against this sort of pressure. He needs to have backup if he wants to punish the way that No-Tail's playing. Yep. Roger will head back down here on the clock quick. It's going to mean there's no clock mid and more space for Rezo's Medusa.
Navi gets a D ward up top. They kill Fly's freshly placed ward that was on the high ground there. Since they saw him there going for the bounties over and over again, they assumed that it was placed. I think they also had a ward watching his movement to go there. So, No-Tail Eating a lot of right clicks. Roger trying to close the gap. No tail. Double TPs from the supports.
Yep, and that'll put Roger off for sticking around for more. He's got to get out of there. That sort of reaction comes through. He just has to back away. And no tail. And he's certainly receiving the backup he needs, and it's allowing him to just stick around. I mean, he's low on health, but he knows it's fine. He's an Underlord. He's got 3 points in the passive. Up top, Crystallized looking for S4. Quick orb and a phase shift. And S4's back to safety.
Yeah, very hard to kill Puck this game throughout all stages. There's no stuns. It's Clockwork, who's not reliable whatsoever versus Puck unless you overforward. Mid lane, Dendi in some trouble here.
JerAx has got the grab, and with S4 coming in with the rotation, Dendi, he will go down. No amount of stick charges enough to save that Viper's life. Fly. Also got eyes onto Roger. S4, think about it, he's got a Dream Coil. Doesn't want to pop it down though. No. Doesn't feel it's worth it for the support clock kill. He'll keep it for bigger things.
ROG having a very great start to the early game, especially with the Medusa.
Oh, Fly. He's got a haste rune. And should be enough to keep him alive. They're trying to go for the Sprout. But he's out of there. Phase boost is indeed complete for Crystallize. So he has got now a bit of a punch, but still it's the lack of control on S4 that's been the issue in that sort of matchup.
No
Very
tells.
hard for him to do anything about the puck.
Yeah. No-Tail's got a solid 2 levels over everybody else in the game. It's going for the rush 4-step as well, for the cogs being able to displace. They're going to have a lot of different 4-steps. I'm assuming it's going to be Underlord, it's going to be Shadow Shaman, and it's going to be the Medusa with very early ones coming out. Maybe Rezo prioritizes just getting Mask of Madness and some damage so he can just get that farm on, since he does have a couple stacks coming out from JerAx on the Ancients and the hard camp on the right side. Now No-Tail getting a little bit of tower damage. Keeping that Atrophy Aura stacks up. Beauty about playing it versus Nature's Prophet is you're always capable of killing treants, so you're getting that bonus damage.
Mid lane, Dendi tried to make a bit of a go onto Resolution with the Viper Strike, but still not the damage needed to take down Resolution. He's actually going to come back in on this. He's feeling confident, Rezo, to still hang around. I mean, Dendi will chase this down. Rezo does have to be a little respectful of the punch that Dendi can offer. Looks like Rezo just trying to get the most out of the lane before he heads back to base anyway. As we're seeing, generally comes back into this bottom lane, but there really is nothing that he can do to stop No-Tail's reign in this bottom lane. He's just owning the lane as this Underlord, and it's an issue because Navi is struggling with dealing with him. Up top, quick jump in from Crystallize, does get the crit, and he may be able to chase this one. Oh no, phase shift's there again. S4's fine.
He's going to go back to base. But they are not getting tower on top just yet. He pretty much forced them to kind of dive him. Crystallize is still farming very nice though, top of the net worth.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But the big discrepancy is that mid lane. Dendi getting punished really hard by that dual lane that was there for the entire time, plus the DD that JerAx did find earlier.
JerAx back up
Dire's
to the top.
top tower is under attack.
Help out S4. Soak up some XP as well, No-Tail.
The snake bounces in mid just keep hitting Dendi. He's actually put down to 300 life, and Rezo's pretty much full mana from all this.
Roger's hanging around mid, but not quite level 6 on the clockwork, so very little he can do in terms of jumping in. Down bottom, General is just being forced back away from his tower. And Roger will actually fine. Yeah, Fly came up to the high ground. He's got the Soul Rip and the Tombstone, so Fly will survive. And Roger and Snake are being forced back down.
Top.
Let's get in with the slow. They are trying to move in onto Rezo. Indeed, up top, S4 gets the kill onto Crystallize. And Dendi will not be able to claim the life of Resolution. So what happened top, Fog?
Coil. He just got coiled by S4. He tried to jump in and kill S4, but then JerAx just comes in and shackles him up. And JerAx has Serpent Wards available. They have a catapult top if he wants to go for it here, but chooses to make the move around.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See if they can punish No-Tail. I mean, again, they've got a couple of heroes around here, Roger as well, but it's a hard kill to attempt for. He has the ult, he has a TP scroll, and we'll see how he looks to play this.
He can't get it off.
He can't. He's been battery assaulted it up, and he's all right. He can't quite cast the ultimate, get it going. I don't know if it would have mattered anyway. Between the three of them, they did have a decent amount of damage, and that is Underlord down.
Oh, and the snake chased Dendi across the map, and now watch Rezo's mana. The snake is coming back. When I see it traveling on the secondary cam.
Oh, global
100 mana.
snake. Oh, hello. Crystallize goes in quick with a crit. Flies there with the backup, but Roger,
Nice hook.
level 6 now. Hook shot. Rezo's out of mana. This is a big kill for Navi, and they'll get it. Resolution down. Generals keep it up to the high ground. Jarek's there with the shackles. The tombstone's gone. Jarek's now in trouble as well as Crystallize ready to chase down for more. Roger body blocks Jarek's up with the Batricel, takes another Crystallize. He's actually looking over to Fly. Jumps around behind the tower. They're focusing the Undying with Dendi there as well. Crystallize, he'll find the kill. S4's come into the fight, but he's all alone as Notel's being zoned away. S4's down as OG just turn up the feedometer.
They got collapsed on very quickly by Navi, rotating everybody here. You see Dendi walked all the way from bottom to the mid lane, Roger as well. Those are very quick rotations coming out from Navi. OG had no idea. 112th time that Dendi and Fly face off.
The biggest Western rivalry.
Wow.
To the good old Alliance ones. I mean, no surprise really, Dendi and Fly, two of the originals. In terms of professional Dota players, they've been around a long time. They've played a lot of games. And here we see it again. I mean, Navi just played this perfectly, and this is a dream fight for a PA at this stage, just to be able to turn up and have this sort of impact. Having your team set up for kill after kill after kill.
Yeah, Dendi, like we said, you see him like walking through the bottom river at that entire time and collapsing onto that mid lane.
And even manages to get those more elusive kills like S4, who just steps a step too far. Still though, there is a 2k lead for OG Navi. We'll need another fight like that to close the gap, but
yeah,
as we can see, that does pretty much half the job towards getting themselves back ahead.
OG's about to have one of their big items still picked up. The Blink Dagger on Puck is 200 gold away. He should have it right after this top creep wave. There he does, if he's able to purchase it from the side shop. And Notel is going to be doing that build that we saw him do versus Mouse in Captain. Fly actually mid, getting chased out. Should go down here pretty easily to the Mask of Madness jump.
Crystallize looking very scary now indeed. These are a lot of kills that the PA is getting involved in.
Yeah. So we saw Notel play the Underlord versus Mouse, and he went for the just full tank. Crimson Guard, etc. Just like, I think he had maybe Greaves on top of that, but he was just extremely durable in that game, and it's a really good approach here versus PA. Roger, coiled up. Good easy kill for Notel and the boys. That's a big ancient stack for Rezo. He can start working on that one. And since all ancients have mana now, it's the dream for Medusa, because you get all your mana restored per snake. And with Tombstone committed, they will clean that one up nicely.
How's Crystallize doing towards the Desolator after Mask of Madness? Okay, still a bit of time.
Still doing pretty nice.
But he's keeping up the cause of Navi, of OG, and the same to be said for General. General getting the split push on. It's only Dendi that's a little bit behind on the Viper. But if Navi can find a few objectives with this General split push, that's going to bump Dendi back up as well with that Tower Gold. This was there, looking to form some sort of defense. He just have to be careful. Snako with the wraparound. Put the Shadow Poison upon him. He'll go for the jump and quick silence. Make sure that there's no disruption to cause issues for the Puck as he escapes.
They will get the tower though for Navi. That's a great start there coming forward for them, boosting up Dendi up as you mentioned. He really needs it. Crystallize trying to engage on mid here. All of OG is starting to collapse, but first they're going to farm up this other gigantic ancient stack.
Navi's seen this, and they're already backing themselves away. Until drops down the pit. Dendi's fine, and Crystallize simply will come back to mid, resume the farming. They'll bring Rezo over, away from the ancients, just in case the fight does get forced by Navi. And they may just also extract back from OG as they're leading straight away. Jerax just drops the wards and the shackles. He's caught Dendi. Dendi's gone, and that will be the tier 1 tower going down in favor of OG. Quick and easy kill as Dendi was out on his own. And OG not afraid to dive near the tower. As we've seen Jerax continuously make some very, very nice plays on this jungle.
Yep, now they can go back to those ancients. Very good decision making coming out from OG. With those Serpent Wards, always wanting to use them near the tower. Fly. And S4, they find General bottom. They've got the coil.
Try and get himself away, sprouting Fly back, but S4 will chase down, and they've got a good amount of burst indeed. S4, of course, going straight for the Yule Scepter as well, so he can keep up the elusiveness and also have that extra bit of catch.
Yeah, happy to see that, and yeah, Rezo is going to go for 4 staff.
Yeah.
Just everyone trying to build 4 staffs to deal with that clock, and I'm glad to see Fly skill up Flesh Golem there. That spell amp, the max damage amp is 20% there, so he's standing on top of General, so that bonus damage was pretty sufficient with S4. Navi, they're smoked up. They're trying to get some deep wards down to watch that ancient farming. They have to be able to contest it somehow. They can't let this Medusa just keep getting that acceleration.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not the best target to go for there, No Tail. Pretty beefy, 1600 HP. Roger was trying to close the gap, but unable to.
I mean, if you're Navi, how are you looking to play this game? Is it just you just need to create space for Crystallize to get a few more items and have the rest of the team sort of split up the map and keep the lanes, you know, on the side shoved in with the Nature's Prophet?
Pretty much. It's tough because of how much of a deficit that the Viper is at.
Yeah.
He has to just try to catch back up, and he's going for Force Staff. He's not going for that Veil build. Goes for the attack speed as well. So he's not going for that magic damage, since they need as much right click as possible to try to deal with this Dusa. But yeah, it's really hard. They can't really group up and take fights versus OG's lineup. They don't have the team fighting lineup in comparison. They kind of just have to farm it out and hope that the PA gets big enough for them to take upcoming fights much later on. Dendi and No Tail going at it. No Tail has Force Staff.
Yeah, Demonic Purge and the Viper Strike, but as you say, the Force Staff up to the high ground. We'll keep No Tail alive. Roger trying for the hook shot, but he's gone in onto flying. There's 4 heroes here. Quick turn for Jerax with the Hex and the Shackle. And Roger's punished. He was hoping to find No Tail, but a little bit of a risky play that absolutely does not pay off. Space has been there for Crystallize, and Crystallize does now have the money to get that Desolator out to him. So we'll see how he turns up to the fight with that extra bit of a physical punch. But still, these heroes on OG, there, as you said, they're getting tankier and tankier with the 4 stars as well. There's going to be the way to play around any sort of jump in from Navi. It's not going to be easy for Navi's lineup.
Yeah. OG, they have Shadow Shaman wards up. I think they're looking for that Roche here, yeah. They're trying to make their way in it with it.
I mean, this is very good timing for them to do so as well, because that Deso's there. You know that Navi themselves, they would have been looking for the Roche.
They can't contest this Roche either. Into Tombstone Serpent wards, there's like no way unless they get some absolutely ridiculous
Stone Gaze there as well. I think it's pretty much impossible for Navi to go in. They've got the hook shot up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's no way.
I see S4 already just keeping Roger back away from the pit.
Naming the game for OG mostly in like this first 19 minutes has been just like, come at us. Because all they need to really do is just keep farming ancient stacks, and they know that they've got this late game with the Medusa. They just have to make sure that Dendi doesn't flash farm, which he can't really because he's a Viper. General does have Orchid on top of the drum finished up, so he's keeping up with No Tail on the farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Once a Yule Scepter picked up for S4, so that catch is there if he does go hunting for the Nature's Prophet. When General tries for a split pushing in fair.
S4 is looking to start something bottom here, but everybody from Navi's down here. He gets scouted up by the rocket as well.
Here comes the ult from No Tail, bringing the team over for the defense. Hook shots in, but surprise, this man has got friends. He's got the Yule Scepter to buy himself some time. Rezo moves forward with the Stone Gaze. Navi, they have to get out of it. S4 comes in with the 3-man Dream Call, allowing Rezo to close the gap. They try for the TPs out, but Crystallize, he's not going to make it. The PA's down, the rest, can they actually escape? They've got the lock onto Seneko. Seneko won't be as lucky as well. Some did get out. But OG find 2 kills, one of them being the big one as well, getting Crystallized, who actually by Lizard ticked out in the base as he was falling ever so low. And what a play there between them. The coil, the
coil break snap.
I mean, S4 there with that 3-man Dream Call, setting up for Rezo to close the gap. And of course, the way that started, getting No Tail, bringing the entire team over from top to bottom. That's sort of the textbook plays that you expect when you read how an Underlord works, that we just don't see that often. That sort of movement of the whole team just catching the opponent off guard.
That was literally perfectly executed by S4. With the Yules finished up, even though he gets Orchided, Yules himself up. Jerax.
Oh, he's on the hunt, but that man's got an Orchid. Oh no, Jerax may have made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
Not sure if he forgot that the Orchid was there. I was just maybe hoping that he could get the instant Hex before the Orchid silence came through.
I think that's what he wanted, yeah. Roger, getting rooted up, has the hook shot to try to distance himself a bit.
Mini hook shot. S4's going to chase. He's got Dream Call back up. Lays it down, buys space for No Tail to close the gap, and Roger, he's surrounded by 3. He's gone, a quick sorrow from flight. Ooh, Courier, all right. Oh, that had quite a bit on indeed. General gets the Courier, he's not getting out for it though. They've got the Yule set up to cancel the TP, and General will get 2. There's a bit of time bought from here. Bison Echo is not enough. They tried to get him out of there. It does get the Courier though. That did have the, I believe, the completed Hurricane Pike of the Medusa there. So a little bit of a slowdown for OG, but still overall Navi are starting to hemorrhage kills. It's 13-7. OG getting some momentum, and sure there'll be a few minutes without the completed Hurricane Pike, but I don't think OG are going to be too bothered by that at all.
No, I mean OG they have this Medusa who can just keep doing this.
Yeah.
Farming up double ancient stacks, farming up double neutral stacks over and over again. And when you look at Navi's lineup, they don't have that flash farming ancient hero.
No.
Crystallize doesn't have a Battle Fury or anything along those lines, so he can't do the similar thing that Medusa does. And Dendi falling just sticking at that same net worth. He can't. He's a Viper. He can't flash farm. Sure, you have Nether Toxin now, but like Lumi was mentioning on the panel, no one really levels it up now again. In the early phase, they just wait to skill it up, unless they have something that's incredibly good versus
They go over the hook shot, trying to set up onto Jax. He gets the walls down, and Notel came in with the ult. He's looking for the lockdown onto Roger, but Roger a little too speedy. He's running himself away. Notel's continuing to chase. Yeah, if they can get the puck in, they should have enough damage. They've got the silence. Or not enough to finish him. He's looking for the deny to the Ancient. No, he just pops the cogs. He knows that he can live. They'll turn towards Fly. Fly with the stick charges, the Soul Rip, and the Decay, keeping himself alive for a little bit, but it's not long enough. Crystallize jumps in, finds the crit, has the hit with the Desolator. Rezo's come over as well to join in this fight, but OG, they're down 2. Stone Gaze will be popped. Navi, they kite it out. They pack away. It's Navi this time, finding the favorable numbers. They get 2. They only lose 1. As Crystallize edges closer and closer to the BKB. And things certainly going to be quite scary for OG, especially the supports. Once he has that BKB, as he can just lock down straight away onto Jerax.
That's their big timing window. When they have the BKB, they just have to go time. But fighting against Underlord is going to be pretty difficult. He's got Mech, he's got Vanguard, he's going to build toward Guardian Greaves and Crimson Guard. So he's going to make his team a lot more durable to withstand that 10 seconds of the BKB. And they're still in Aegis too. I mean, he's going to be getting claimed soon. But yeah, the supports are the big ones that will suffer. I want to see if maybe they go for like Ghost Scepters or Glimmer Capes, something along those lines, some other defensive items after those 4 staffs. Looks like we'll blink for Jerax for the catch. And Fly. Probably eventually get a Glimmer Cape. But he's a hard 5.
Fortune's change.
Puck, Kaya. The new standard on majority of int cores, and then going to be going for that Aghanims afterwards to deal with that BKB from the PA. Rezo's getting pretty tremendous though. 2 pieces of the Eye of Scotty will be finished up quite soon. And yeah, as we see here, Dendi trying to build a BKB of his own into that Maelstrom so he can start actually being that farmer.
Yeah, even with that Death Zone Crystallize, it's going to be very hard to take down the Medusa, as you say.
Back to Ancients from Rezo. Triple stack again. Going to be starting to get cleared up, as well as stacking up the medium camp every single time. Farm game, he will have that Eye of Scotty finished very soon after this gets finished.
As well as the Hurricane Pike, once he wants to send it out to himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's still dead on the courier.
That's
right.
That's
oh
the
man.
thing. He's massive.
Totally forgot that was still dead on the courier.
Yeah. Hurricane Pike, and as you say, just a couple 100 gold, and that Scotty's going to be out.
He's getting I don't like using this, but he's getting a big power peak here. He's about to get level 20 for that 800 plus mana on top of the Eye of Scotty. He's going to be really hard for Navi to bring down unless they can just isolate him, which I don't think OG is going to let them do because of the way that No-Tail has itemized.
Nearly has those Greaves. Closing in on the recipe.
His job is just to defend these towers from General's push. And then Dark Rift into his team.
Navi, they went for a smoke. Let's see if they can catch anything. Roger coming in for the side. Let me see if he can go for a hookshot potential, but now the smoke comes off, he backs away. Came a little too close to OG's heroes. S4. Hiding in the trees.
They want to kill Dendi bottom. He is very isolated.
So much trouble if S4 can get the lockdown. Jump forward from S4. There's no tier 2 as it's already down. The Dream Core's there, closing the gap for No-Tail. He's going to proc the Dream Core stun, moving Jerax and Rezo in as well. And with the Scotty down, Rezo just rips through him. That's Dendi down. No Viper for 50 seconds. OG with the creep wave moving in bottom. They're going to try and threaten for high ground.
I mean, with No-Tail this buff, 26 HP per second. This is a real. This looks like Rax. There's no glyph.
How do you stop this push? OG. They're pushing up at 26 minutes in. And there is no way the Navi can stop this one. That's going to be the melee rest going down. You can see Nature's Prophet going for the split push, but guess who's there? S4's already up top. He puts an end to the split. and they get away with this. Is looking very, very scary for Navi. The OG can just group up as 5. They're so strong at this point of the game. That was even before Notel had the Greaves complete. Roger's going to head forward, but there's a Skadi. The slow's there. Rezo just closes the gap. He has to go for the hook shot back to safety, and it does save him. But yeah, Rezo's chasing. They'll go for the defensive disruption, but that's just going to allow time for Rezo to close the gap. Glimmercape's not enough. Rezo gets the kill, pops the stone. He's just moving in on his own. He doesn't even need the rest of OG. He's just going in. The rest of OG now starts to come up behind him. But that is looking very scary indeed, that Rezo can just walk up like that. Navi can do nothing to punish it.
Starting to look near impossible for Navi to take any type of fights. They have to have massive number advantages, and I don't think OG's going to split up. I wouldn't blame them either with the lineup that they've got going on here. They've now got Blink Dagger finished on Jerax, Glimmercape on Fly. They've got all they need to just 5-man these towers.
They've nearly got the Ags on S4 as well.
Yep.
It's all coming together for OG. As they'll look to push it on this tier 2. Sneko getting caught out by the pit. Roger trying to close in, but a quick force from Rezo gets him back to safety. General goes in with the wraparound, has the silence. They're trying to surround him. He is dropping low on mana here, Rezo. The breakthrough as well. Can they take him home? Notel says, hold on, boys. We're going back to base. Rezo's out. Everyone's out. Notel with the save gets Rezo and the boys back out of there.
That was actually looking almost really scary for Resolution there.
He was falling low.
But it stands next to the Atrophiora, stands next to Notel, gets grieved up, gets that bonus armor. And now Navi.
Oh, Notel. Gets the pit. Crystallize. Be fine. Dagger slow and a backup. Notel's trying to chase. Actually, I said that Jerax jumps in. He's managed to find the Hex. The wards are down as well, Roger. Going for it. The shackles will be broken by the battery. So Crystallize posts the BKB, but the Serpent wards and the physical from Rezo is looking to be too much. He's got to rely on the evasion, but the RNG's surely not there. Crystallize can't survive through that. The PA is down. OG down the mid lane, taking the tier 2 tower. They're 8K gold lead now, 29 minutes in. They are looking so much stronger than Navi's heroes at this stage. It's so hard with the composition that Navi have to do anything to stop this pressure that OG can apply with how big Resolution is.
I'm loving the Underlord last pick too. Honestly, it was brilliant. The full auras, the damage mitigation towards Navi's lineup. It's really proving to prevail, and now the Roche looks like it's the next target for OG, and I don't see how Navi can contest this. Seeing from just that last fight, PA popped BKB and just can't do anything.
Can't do nothing. Absolutely not.
And now it's pretty much a full butterfly in a second coming up for Rezo too on top. With that Aghanims, as you mentioned, about to be done.
For Rezo, and just OG as a whole, so far today, they are looking to be on the ball, and it's, as we've emphasized so many times, this is where it's needed the most. They had to get these 4 wins. They've already got 2, and this third one is looking pretty good. They've got the silence here. They've found themselves a clockwork. Dreamcore's down. Roger, he's trying to do his best to buy as much time as he can.
Jerax finds General as well, bottom.
Leaving, but oh, hello, hook shot. Blocked by Rezo. Rezo's up to the high ground with the force, gets the kill. And indeed, they catch General, as you say, down bottom. Stone Gaze from Resolution as they move forward, trying to back Navi away from contesting for the pit. They have lost the Undying. Rezo back in. There's going to be a buyback from General. They really want to try and contest this team fight. Disruption onto Resolution. He's being forced back. They are getting OG out of the pit. Silence is there onto the Medusa. And we'll crystallize in there with the Deso. He's going to be able to get it. Navi. They sneak back in. They claim the Aegis. They get the Roche kill. And now they're looking for more kills. Jump forward and a couple of crits. That's at Notel down. OG, they have to get the hell out of there. But Dendy, he doesn't want to let them. He's trying to chase it. He's looking for the slows. General's coming in with a global TP. He's looking for the wraparound onto Resolution. Resolution staying close to Jerax so they can get the vision for Crystallize to jump in. It's going to be big. They put down the Sprout. Instant Hex from Jerax, and he's quick with the blink away. Trying to escape. Dendy's though there with the Viper Strike. Crystallize jumping forward, looking for Resolution. Has he got enough damage there? Resolution manning up the cheese and swallow. The crit comes through. Crystallize, he finds the kill on Rezo. Rezo's down for 80. Now turns towards Fly. Fly is gone as well. 3 dead on OG. These heroes don't have buyback. There's a DD rune available down bottom. This is absolutely huge for Navi. Crystallize doing massive things there as he is able to get the Roshan, get a very successful fight off the back of it. Sure, they do lose Dendy. It is a dieback from General, but this sort of just spanner being thrown into the works of OG is exactly what Navi need to get back on top of them.
They couldn't really go for just like splitting up there, it seemed. Like Jerax and Jerax goes bottom to try to get that kill there, but because of that, Roger able to jump in and split the fight up around that Roche pit. allows Crystallize to go in, get that Aegis cheese. That's a huge comeback for Navi.
You can see the swing starting to come through. OG cannot afford to have any more fights go as badly as that.
No, and the break actually was a pretty big aspect there. He broke No-Tail's Atrophy Aura, so Crystallize, you saw that crit that he got on No-Tail?
It was a couple of hits and he was gone then though.
Just chunked him down.
Dire are scanning.
OG has to be careful of those couple movements. They can't really go for those. They can't really get split up versus Navi's lineup. The PA is still pretty tough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think he's going to have the MKB. Does it? He's got the 2 javelins on the courier, I think, hasn't he? So that is going to be MKB done
Dire's middle
very
tower
quickly
has
indeed,
been denied.
and just in time because the butterfly has been complete on resolution. Now level 20, No-Tail with the extra health regen.
I think he's got the Crimson Guard finish now too.
Okay.
So he is
They want to go.
super tanky now.
Let's see what they can make happen.
77 HP per second on No-Tail.
Is the Aegis still there? Or?
Aegis is on Crystallize.
Aegis is still, yeah, it's on Crystallize. Oh, hello. Shadow Demon on the front of it all. They actually dropped the wards for that. And the Tombstone. OG in sort of panic mode there as they were very worried about the rest of Navi coming in.
I guess they thought that it was going to be like a real full fight.
Yeah.
Once they had that high ground ward, they saw other heroes of Navi starting to pour in.
General's got to be careful. S4's there with the setup. No-Tail's coming in with the global TP, ready to join the party. And General, he's surrounded. He does actually have the shadow, but they see him. They've got the detection. Sentry's down. JerAx turns up.
He can't
gets it
TP
out
out inside the pit either because it's going to keep reapplying. So he had to get a move out, but he's coiled. So good little catch there by OG.
Crystallize trying to do his best to split up the pressure and go for this push down mid lane. He is almost certainly going to have to come back up top if OG can get this push up to the high ground. Resolution leading the way. He's got the creep wave coming around.
JerAx is looking for something. The TPs are all coming in mid. JerAx unable to get the instant disable.
And quick go Scepter, stopping the damage from the dagger. S4's going to continue to chase though. Looks forward with the orb. He's got his eyes on to Crystallize. Silence is there. But phase shift as well. Has to be careful. Roger will not be able to get away though. Stuck in the pit. Rezo has the damage. S4 continuing to try and play around with his PN. Look at that move speed of the orb. Jumps forward. Oh, Coil was back up in 5 seconds. Could have maybe tried to at least force the BKB out if that was going to be the case. But yeah, Coil not quite back online.
S4 is playing this puck super well this game,
I mean, it's terrifying. Look at that. He's second highest in net worth, even with Crystallize.
Second highest in level as well. And once he gets that level 25, we know what happens. That GPM starts kicking in. Dagon, Ethereal Blade can be a big factor in this one. He has queued up the Linken's Orb first, but if he can go for those other 2 big items versus a PA, it can be pretty crucial for their lineup. And No-Tail is just going for just a Blade Mail here to try to reflect some of that damage if they do focus him. Since he has those auras around, all he has to do is survive in the fights to make his team much tankier.
24-14, 35 minutes in, 7k lead for OG. Crystallize is going to be spotted out. JerAx quick with the Blink Hex. Have they got the further through lockdown? They haven't. Crystallize will be fine for now.
Aegis gets reclaimed in 8 seconds.
Oh, he has to be careful, and he will be fine. They get the first pop of the Aegis. They've got the Shaman Wars down. OG still continue to move forward. Crystallize, he plays way out this one. He pops the BKB, but he's actually been stowgazed up. He's stuck in the Dream Coil as well. Crystallize, what can he do? He tries to jump forward for Rezo. He's looking to man up on the Medusa. Can he win this fight? He cannot. The Hex is there from JerAx. Crystallize is down. Rezo will survive, and Navi, they may just lose Roger as well. No-Tail's going to take the poise out. He says, we're not leaving this one anymore, as it's getting a little risky. They were falling a little low. And S4 will go down, but still, yeah, Navi lose 3.
That was a... Dendi tried to Hurricane Pike and push No-Tail out of there to try to distance themselves, but yeah, that Shrine...
And Dendi, I don't think he expected that at all. For them to come back in that quickly, as you say, going to the Shrine, instantly regenning up, coming back in, that's smart.
Yeah, that's the... I think the first person I saw doing that was Universe when he was playing the Underlord. That's a just really good decision making coming out from No-Tail there.
And the buybacks have to come through now. Dendi and Crystallize buying back.
Yep.
12k gold lead now for OG. And MKB, the money's nearly there for Rezo.
That high ground ward there, giving them the fight access. Just JerAx with the control. That Stone Gaze as well. Follow up through the BKB on Crystallize.
I mean, JerAx,
Starting to get
he has
tougher.
been doing so much on the Shadow Shaman, I feel.
Oh yeah, I think everybody, everyone on OG
yeah.
is doing their doing exactly what they need to do in the team.
This is true, yeah. You could certainly talk about everyone just being massive playmakers this game, and the 3 games that we've seen from them so far today. As we say, when they've needed to step it up, they absolutely have OG. Navi now 13k behind with this Viper P8 duo core, not the 2 heroes you necessarily want in a late game situation against the Medusa Underlord. And of course S4 Puck, let's not forget that man who's nearly got the Lincoln Sphere, and he is level 25, does have the 420 GPM, so that Lincoln Sphere will be there very soon, and that net worth of the Puck's going to skyrocket. We can see it already, he's 2nd highest, and he's now getting quite an advantage over the PA. He's popped by Dendy. He's going to look to try and jump forward onto JerAx. JerAx buying some time with the Ghost Step to get enough time to get the Shaman wards out. They've got the control on the side of it all, but Rezo pops the Stone Gaze. Navi, they have to be careful with the BKBs running low. Rezo moving forward, forced in. There'll be the disruption for Tsuneko trying to hold back the Medusa. They have found 2 of the kills from OG. Dendy in a bit of trouble. S4 jumps forward. He's got the coil control onto Crystallize. He needs to bring in more for the damage though. And now with Navi coming back in, OG will not be able to chase any further. It's a big pickoff there for the side of Navi as they take down a few. Quick ult from the Underlord to bring him back out. S4 still hiding in the trees. Navi, they're searching for him. They won't be able to find him. S4 TP's out just in time.
Tsuneko doing a lot of work with the disruptions there. Disrupted Medusa illusions do a lot of damage, and Dendy with that fresh BKB able to do quite a lot, just starting the fight onto the Shadow Shaman. They lose JerAx right away.
Still though, Rezo survives throughout it all, and
MKB finished.
Yeah, he is without a doubt the big problem for Navi in these team fights.
Yeah, he's level 25 too, so now he gets the modifiers on the split. That MKB will help just a bit.
The best thing they can do is just kite out that Medusa and try and kill the heroes around them.
Yeah.
It's proving to be very, very difficult indeed.
Killing the supports is a good job, though. Is a good decision there from Navi. Kill them. Probably maybe not kill Fly if he gets double tombstone down. The fights can be really hard to fight around that. But yeah, I mean, it's just really hard for Navi to fight into OG's lineup just because of their sheer team fight advantage. Heck's gonna be the last item for No Tail. It's quite a ways away, though.
It's the S4 Lincoln Sphere. And Rezo himself actually looking to cure a Lincoln Sphere of his own.
Players here.
It's another double damage rune down bottom. OG could look to that and look to take another attempt at a push.
General TPs for it and takes it. General does have a Hex finished up too, so he's looking pretty solid. Roger, Blade Mill, Spirit Vessel. Pretty nice items there, but not as substantial as the items that OG has been picking up in the last few minutes.
At the same time, OG, they can't place it with me. Broshan is back up.
That's the refresher
That
shard.
is the refresher shard indeed.
Which will probably be given to S4 or JerAx.
Oh, I was going to say JerAx. He'd love that.
Yeah, No Tail. Just walking into the enemy team.
Not taking much damage at all.
Yeah, they actually take 0 from Viper.
And
they
now,
find Dendy.
Dendy's in a bit of trouble. Yeah, this is going to have to put the BKB. The Dream Card down as an Axbot, so Dendy's going to have to hold his ground. Stone Gaze comes through. Rezo starting to force them back with the damage they've done. They have lost Fly on the back lines. No Tail in on the front, trying to chase down Dendy, but he hasn't quite got the control. Dendy will be fine. OG getting rather split up here. Rogers managed to segregate JerAx to the side of it all. JerAx has the Ghost Step to turns with the Shackles. He will live for now. They've got the hold onto Roger, keeping it back. Rezo actually going to pick apart the rest of Navi, who tried to come in on this because they felt that it was strong enough that Roger had that lead on the back, but that is GG. They've lost 3. No buybacks. This game over. Just like that. A bit... Navi, they just sort of threw their bodies in there. And Rezo just stood in between Navi and Glory, and that is one game closer to the dream day that OG are hoping for. 3 wins so far. That one more game against Navi.
That was a very abrupt ending. But yeah, the Medusa just getting it absolutely immense. Tsuneko actually, those illusions killed Fly almost instantly that he got taken out there. But yeah, that gold advantage and just the team fight from OG. No Tail with some very clutch rifts out on top of just the item build. I really liked what he had going for him there.
I mean, as you said, OG as a whole just been playing, you know, absolutely some top stuff today. Sort of the level that we expect from OG, and they've had, you know, a bit of up and downs, as we said before. Previous a lot of qualifiers they've struggled with, but recently they're back on the up, and this is exactly where they need to. This is a major. This is an incredible amount of pressure for them, and can they keep it together for one more game? Seeing what we've seen so far, I think it's looking pretty good for OG.
One more.
There's one more. Let's see what OG and Navi can give us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the ad break. Can OG do it? We'll find out soon.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
The battle begins.
Rampage.
Dire victory.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
expect it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, nah, nah. Wow, wow, wow. Hey. Wow, 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 wow. Watch ya. Hey. I woke up feeling like a millionaire. Never thought I'd feel like this in a million years. Oh, no. There's something ringing in my ear, keeps calling, saying please take me there. There's good vibes in the air. I wanna live life without a care. I don't care, I don't care. I'll meet you there. I feel like I wanna party. Party, I just wanna let go. Let go. So let's get it started. Tonight I wanna explode. Explode. I woke up feeling like a millionaire. Never thought that I'd feel like this in a million years. There's something ringing in my head, keeps calling, calling, saying please take me there, take me there. Goodbye, goodbye. Wanna live my life without a care. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Ooh, I'll meet you there. Feel like I wanna party. Party, I just wanna let go. Let go. So let's get it started. Started. Tonight I wanna explode. Explode.
Welcome back to ROG Dream League Season 8. Final game of the day, first of all, of the region of EU, CAS, and the game to decide if OG or VP is going to make it to the major. A very important game. We already had, just now, OG versus Navi, game number 1. And it was a close one. It could have gone both ways. Although I feel like OG was ahead most of the time. Navi had a couple of great plays as well. Lumi, first of all, what did you make of that game?
Kind of, I think the draft was advantage for OG.
Yeah.
I thought that towards the middle of the game, once there was that's a BKB on, that was the strongest point of Navi. I was surprised that OG decided to take fights at that point.
Okay.
I felt like they could have just played it slow, wait, and let the Dusa carry. But they took some fights, and it got really, really close. Too close.
Too close for OG, Charlie.
Yo, I'm hyped. This is, it came down to it. It's happening.
It is
happening. You guys have no faith, man. I'm calling OG 4-0, dude.
No matter what happens from this point onward, I don't know how it happens, but I think this is like the third time in a row where or not in a row, because I know that last season wasn't the case, but I think this has happened a lot where actually the last game of the region is the deciding game. And I know not both teams that have a say in the matter, you know, are playing right now, or rather both teams that have, you know, a say in who gets to the top. Virtus Pro not playing, having cheer for Navi. Whew. I mean, that's a rough one. That is definitely a rough one. And this game, OG looked real good. They had a draft advantage, as you said, Lumi, but it wasn't just draft. They played just really well as well.
Yeah, OG's looking better and better as they're becoming more and more comfortable with each other. Man, I said they just need time. They just need time.
It's all happening right under our eyes.
I was especially impressed with Jirax, the way that because Shadow Shaman is such a slow-moving hero, but in his hand, he was able to do so much in the mid lane. I think he pushed Dendy out of the lane. There was one clip where he came in with the double damage, and we were just trading hits with a Viper. Viper had to run.
Yeah.
And just starting from minute 1 to 5, OG was everywhere. They're grabbing all the bounty runes. They were just doing so well.
And we can take a look at the replay that we have for you guys. This was towards the end of the game, and it is also such a close fight here. So talk us through this, Lumi.
Tombstone is in a very good position because they have to either bypass the Tombstone to take the fight, or they can't take the fight pretty much. And then Crystallize got isolated. Look at the positioning of OG. They are not they're not clumped up. And then Great War Trap. Now we're getting into a running situation. And Dusa is just also still sieging from a very excellent position from the high ground. Like, Resolution's life was never challenged until this point where the BKB gets activated. They kite out the BKB of Crystallize, and after the BKB of Crystallize ends, that's pretty much it, a team fight, because without the PA, there's just no firepower left.
Look at No-Tail. Here he goes. And look at the mini-map as well. They go to the shrine. And then right after this clip, they come back earlier than the Dendy expects. And
I mean, honestly, that call out, they didn't even need to call out because they were already 3 dead. I'm sure they were pretty low. I felt like they might have been able to just push, but that was a.
It's still scary to do that versus a Viper when everybody's low health.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very close game, and a little bit maybe too close to comfort for all your OG fans out there. But just think of the VP fans when you're when you're thinking that.
At least
forget the VP fans. Think about VP themselves watching this game.
Oh, yeah.
At least OG's controlling their own future. So.
This is true. Yeah. And you know what? Yesterday we had a double header of Virtus Pro, and they could have ended the whole thing right then and there. They could have secured themselves a spot, and it would have been OG and Navi fighting for the spot, which would have been hype as well. But at least, you know, Virtus Pro would have had the control in their own hands. It was not the case though. They 0-2'd against Navi. Navi was able to 2-0 them, so it was not to be for Virtus Pro. But maybe they can bank on Navi to win this last game. What are we thinking for this last game? Because Charlie, you said at the start that it was gonna be 3-1. Now that you've seen both of them play,
I mean,
OG on a different level, maybe.
I think at this point OG is the better team.
Okay.
I mean, I said that 3-1 just because I'm a pessimist, but but in all reality, I think OG's starting to feel themselves a little more. They're starting to get confidence. And that's what a lot of this game it really is believing in yourself. You've had 3 wins in a row now. You're playing well together. I think you're starting to get a good feel of what is working. And, you know, I think like Liquid showed it at TI where, it's just momentum matters so much.
Yep. And they got the momentum, Lumi.
In terms of the strategic point of view, I like to see Navi take out the Shadow Shaman. Because Shadow Shaman just enables so much for OG. First of all, it's a very strong laner. We saw in one of the games he was shutting out the Pugna in the off lane, or in the safe lane, off lane for the Pugna. In the last game we saw him was able to roam around the mid and shut down mid for the Viper. And not only that, it also enables OG to go for the early game pushing that ties them to the mid and late game. And of course, they always pick it, either for Fly and Jurak, so it might be very expensive to use a first phase ban for it, but OG always picks it up, so I'd like to see Navi take it out.
Well, they banned out Brewmaster, Spirit, and Winter Wyvern, so they have to let one of those go.
All right,
Charlie,
need to go.
Yeah, because it is time for the draft of game number 2. We are in the draft.
Oh, they do have Shaman ban out. First
they do.
ban.
Instead of whom, though? Do we know? We don't know yet.
Well, we're looking at Shaman and Ogre so far.
Okay, that is entirely different. First pick will go to Navi, by the way, so that might have changed their strategy here for the first ban phase.
Did you say Ogre was banned too?
Yeah, Ogre is banned. Meanwhile, OG takes out Venge and Enchantress.
10 seconds remaining.
Leaving Earth Spirit in the pool, as well as Winter Wyvern, 2 heroes that have been fought over many times.
Wow, Navi just target banning OG Zero. Now Undying's taken out as well, so a lot of the comfort hero that OG has been playing is no longer here.
Let's see what that last ban is. Previous game, we saw the Tiny also removed.
Oh, I suck.
No, that table has been wonky for the whole time, don't worry. It's the ban table, you know.
The
heroes don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you got it. And the Winter Wyvern is indeed first pickup while the Tiny is still banned. That means that if OG wants, they can give Jarek that Earth Spirit.
10 seconds remaining.
They're taking their time. It's apparently not as obvious as I thought it would be.
Oh, they're just letting Charlie catch up. That's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, what's happening?
They got a Wyvern pick. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, they have a Wyvern pick and now also Earth Spirit for OG, so they still go for that one.
Wyvern.
Radiant team pick.
Ooh, Brewmaster. I believe Brewmaster was the first phase ban out pretty much every single game so far.
Yep, S4 special. Does mean he won't be playing the puck. I know No2 can play it as well, so they might swap it about, but
sure.
Generally it's S4 playing the Brewmaster, and he is a beast on that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the No2 point, because No2 has historically known to be the carry player that doesn't actually play hard carries, you know?
Yeah.
He used to be Ana and now Resolution to do most of the lifting, and he likes to play more of the tempo controller, so...
Like a Brew.
Yeah, exactly. So the puck might still make a return if they see fit.
Yeah.
OG's turn to ban.
And the Night Stalker.
Finally.
Scary 2 heroes to go up against. We see those 2 banned out all the time.
Yeah, also a very good Brew counter. Fly in over the trees at night, get off that crippling fear to start things off against Brewmaster.
Yeah, that silence lasts a very long time at night. Long enough to burst down Brewmaster if you have the heroes for it, which we'll see if they'll get them.
And sometimes it's even better just to silence the Brewmaster and then just move on and take the other heroes
Get the
out.
next ones, yeah.
Because the Brewmaster in this patch is just so tanky with all his talents, with the fact that now strength just gives you more resistance to stuff.
They ban out the Weaver. What are you thinking so far, Charlie?
I like the I like these a lot. I'm excited to see some Jerax Earth Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we don't get to see that very often at all. So you like this a lot for OG, not necessarily for Navi?
No, I like this for Navi as well. I like the Night Stalker to match. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of him.
Mm-hmm. We saw him banned out a lot as well.
Yeah. And Brewmaster is like a really nice flex pick for OG, like Lumi mentioned. That can go in the 3 or the 2 position for them.
No, we have the Drow Ranger
10 seconds
ban again
remaining.
for coming from Navi. It's still scary to have that
5 seconds remaining.
fast-paced carry on the enemy team. Even if they have only 2 melee heroes so far. One more ban for OG. Let's see what they are worried about. What are you thinking, Lumi?
I'm trying to recall what are some of the key heroes that they banned out previously.
I can tell you.
All
They
right.
banned out Mirana, Luna, and Anti-Mage on the side of OG.
Okay.
And on the side of Navi, they banned out the Drow, the Brood, and the Gyrocopter.
Maybe the Gyro then.
Radiant
Because I
team
feel
ban.
like, oh, it's going to be the puck. Because I feel like some of the bans you mentioned were more or less going along with the first few picks. Whereas I feel like the draft, as we currently have, is very open. Like, I think OG could still play a late game strategy, they could still play a pushing strategy, so
10
it's really
seconds
hard to
remaining.
just target ban a
Turn to
particular hero
pick.
out, or a particular strategy out. They will take out the Broodmother, as it is
Mhm.
one of the more annoying heroes to play against.
Yeah, I don't blame them at all. We saw that earlier today as well. Coming out from OG.
10
With success
seconds
as well.
remaining.
Alright, the pick is on the
5
side of
seconds
OG.
remaining.
And I believe the first pick just now was OG, right?
Yes.
So that means Navi once again has last pick.
Probably.
Right, I think
five.
Wyvern was the overall first pick.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah.
then OG will get last pick.
Yeah.
They got that, which is a really good thing for them.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of games here in DreamLeague where the final pick was like the key counter. Yesterday we saw Team Liquid, like for example, moving Queen of Pain from what we thought from the mid to like the off lane and pick up a TA, and that really tied together their draft. It seems like OG is going for a ton of team fight now with the Disruptor. Magnetize, Static Storm, Brewmaster. Unfortunately, a lot of these spells are really hard to set up on its own. Like Earth Spirit,
5
at least,
seconds
I guess a
remaining.
normal Earth Spirit player needs a little help, but I guess Jerax doesn't.
Jerax does not need any assistance, generally. And both of these supports are very active early on, right?
Less so Disruptor. He's like Glimpse doesn't really do that well until you put it like to level 2 or level 3. He's not very strong at harassing with Thunder Strike at level 1 either, so I think Fly is mostly going to stick to pulling the safe lane and let Earth Spirit do most of the roaming.
Mm-hmm. Well, Navi ticking heavily into their bonus time to decide what they want to do with this. What would you like to see, Charles? Sorry for calling you Charles. It's an OD habit.
No, you're good. Lots of people call me that, actually.
Oh, I thought it was just a...
A bro thing.
A what?
A bro thing.
A bro thing? It is a very bro thing. Lots of the EG guys used to call me that. Well, I guess they still do.
Charles. What do you prefer?
OG's
I don't care,
turn to
man.
pick.
Mr. Yang, what do you
Yang.
think about the Doom?
Just not Mr. DreamLeague.
Not Mr. DreamLeague. What do you think about the Doom?
I mean, I'm not actually a big fan.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess they might have picked it up in anticipation of
seconds remaining.
something else. I guess you can doom the brood, or not the brood, the brew.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that you already have a lot of single target disable right now on Navi's side between Nightstalker Silence, Winter Wyvern Curse. There is a lot of control for the Doom right now as well.
There is.
The one plus side with the Doom pick is that OG has shown tendency that they put a ton of farm on Resolution. They've been playing a lot of 4 Protect 1, right? And if you could put the Doom on the highest net worth hero to essentially take him out of the fight, that might be a pretty good way to go about it. And if OG doesn't go for a 4 Protect 1 strategy, like Charlie mentioned, it's still good against the Panda. So It's a somewhat unorthodox pick compared to, let's say, TIE Hunter or whatever. But I definitely see it has value in this particular series.
Radiant team pick.
Navi is kind of lacking disables. Ooh, Lone Druid for OG.
Yeah,
I'm liking OG's draft more and more.
Yeah, they pick a hero that is very resistant to Doom.
Yeah, clever pickup for sure.
Honestly, this can go mid. This can be in the safe lane as well.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
No Tail's shown that he's played this
5
hero as well.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. Some very beefy heroes coming out for OG, and Navi just does not have the damage yet to deal with them. Sure, you can doom them if you want. You can silence them if you want, but if you're not going to be able to kill them in the duration, then you're going to have a problem. And I think they are having a problem right now.
Yeah, honestly, so far, most of Navi's heroes are very low damage dealing. All right, pick up the Lifestealer. So this is kind of like a very dangerous gamble. Rage, obviously, very good against a ton of what OG's got. But if they catch you without Rage, you're also just immediately dead. So
yeah, you're going to get entangled. You're going to get glimpsed back.
Even when Rage is down, things like Brewmaster can be really annoying for Lifestealer.
Yeah. Storm is going to be the ban here for OG. I think one thing that Navi is trying to do is get the Lifestealer lane matchup versus Lone Druid. Used to be considered a very heavy counter because in the lane you could just feast off of the bear. And because the bear has so much HP to begin with, you essentially lifesteal like 100% per hit.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
it's pretty nice on that regard.
So the Dendy hero that will come out for the last pick for Navi, because Lifestealer alone is not enough damage, right? So they needed kind of a semi-core as well for the last pick?
They're also lacking like a vessel for the Lifestealer.
That's why we see the
That's why
Storm
the Storm was banned, yeah. Batrunner's still in, but...
In terms of Dendy hero that could jump in,
I was actually thinking Queen of Pain for themselves, but they banned it out.
see, the Queen doesn't do enough damage, so you need a really high damage dealing. I'm thinking of Ember.
They thought of Death Prophet instead.
So then now you have the problem of how does the Lifestealer get in? I guess Doom has to get a Blink Dagger now?
Night Stalker's just gonna run in really fast.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's see what OG has for us last. They are very flexible in their picks and where their heroes are going. We've already decided
5
that.
seconds remaining.
Most likely it will be Brewmaster for S4 and Lone Druid for No-Till, and then we got Phantom Maps for Resolution.
All right.
A fairly greedy lineup for OG, but the Disruptor and the Earth Spirit, I think they are good enough supports to warrant that.
Yeah, they also really outscale Navi.
Yeah.
Similar to game 1. Once you get into a certain point in this game...
All right, whatever. I can't find this.
Yeah, once you get to a certain point in this game, the game is over just from the scaling of OG, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. What do you think?
I definitely like OG's draft a lot better here. I don't think Lifestealer really has a game. In the past, sort of, it's done well against Lone Druid, but the matchup works the other way as well. If Lone Druid goes range form, and then you can still get entangled through Rage.
Sure.
And I feel like Wyvern doesn't have a great game here. There are lots of silences, so OG.
OG as well.
OG for me as well. I think this is the weakest draft from Navi in the series so far. Obviously, there's only 2 games, but let's find out if OG is indeed able to secure their place at the Major with ODPixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, the last game of the day, OG versus Navi, and OG 1 win away from securing that spot at the Major. Can they do it, Fog? We've seen the drafts, we've seen the lineups, as the Japan was sort of saying, you know, with this PL, if it goes on, if OG can keep the game going, has the potential to sort of go the same way that we saw, you know, the games with sort of these huge late game carries like the Medusa, the Anti-Mage that OG were able to find the victories in. Is it going to be the same this time, or are there factors of Navi's draft that OG have to be severely worried about?
I'm checking one thing quickly first, because I've been seeing a lot of success from Navi having this Death Prophet. They have only played it 2 times in the last month, but they've won both of the games. However, I do like what the panel was mentioning is OG's lineup, if the game gets to a certain point,
they go.
They're in a great spot. However, I think Navi can snowball with the Death Prophet if they can protect him and make all that happen, but they don't have great ways of starting the fight, like they mentioned as well. What, Night Stalker and Doom just have to kind of run in for the Death Prophet. They have to be these tanky cores and frontliners for her with the Lifestealer. I think that OG, though, they have that plan to take the game to the late game, and I like how they built their two cores. It's really hard to get Dooms off on Phantom Lancer and Lone Druid. Well, Lone Druid you don't really want a Doom, but Phantom Lancer, very elusive, but Brewmaster is going to be the big target for that Doom. So Navi, they do have potential to get those kind of like big team fights. They have a lot of different silences. They can do like Winter's Curse, they can do Death Prophet silence, Night Stalker silences, a lot of ways to prevent the Brewmaster from getting ulti. So we're going to have to see how OG takes this one. They have to be able to come out into the later stages of the game, because early game, they are a bit suffering versus Navi.
And we'll see the lane matchups as well. I mean, at the moment, Notel is on his own up top, bottom. S4's got his eyes onto Crystallize. Yet to skill. Oh, see if he's forced to skill the Rage, and yeah, he has put the point into it. Yep. Doesn't have to use it and doesn't have to reveal the fact that he does so. But he is out of there. Up top, Snake and Janelle putting a bit of harassment onto Notel's back.
A lot of percent damage coming out between that Wyvern and Doom in the later stages, the Infernal Blade and the Arctic Burn. But yeah, I do like what OG's got going for them here. As long as they can not get punished too hard by this Night Stalker in the early night times. They look like they could be looking good here. We'll probably be seeing like this this new build that S4 has kind of been talking to me about after his Blink Dagger, going for the Aeon Disc this game to deal with those silences. Roger and Jarex. It's going to be a 2v2 in the mid lane, 2v2 in each other's safe lanes.
Down bottom, S4. He's going to be on his own for the moment. And, taking quite the harassment from Suneko. Up top, Fly. Doing his best to try and zone back General, get the space for Notel. To get the easy CS.
We don't have much kill lanes coming out here from either side. It's pretty much just if a rotation comes out and catches someone off guard, then they can go for the kills. But as the lanes stand right now, nobody on either team should really die. Jarex, I like what he did here. Blocked the medium camp, warded the hard camp. General has no creep to eat.
Jarex. Fly. Again, as you say, damage being done, but unlikely to find the kills unless someone massively oversteps in these lanes. And so there's overall a lack of sort of hard lockdown between the two lineups.
Roger.
Those ults come out.
Getting chased out here.
And you have the roll forward and the slow from Jarex.
The roll connects.
They should get this.
Rolls off the mark though.
Oh no.
Now Jarex.
Oh no, Jarex. Oh, he done fluffed up.
First blood, first feast.
Oh. Painful,
nice
painful misplay, and yeah, indeed, just Roger making it as hard as he can for Jarex to connect that.
General had to literally just eat a regular creep in the lane since they body blocked one hard camp, they warded the other one and blocked the other one as well. That was very good preparation coming out from OG.
Denied.
And S4 is doing great in this off lane. 6-1, level 3 already when he's playing versus a dual lane. And he's messing with Crystallize a bit. Rezo mid, then he has a DD rune. We'll take massive advantage of this laning phase because of that.
Now, Rezo's still farming all right up against this DP for the most part, though. As you say, there's not really too much of a difference between the two.
Roger does get the D ward that Jarex had placed earlier, so there is going to be that hard camp available for General now.
The biggest sort of win in terms of lanes so far in this early stage definitely seems to be the top lane for OG. You look at the CS there, 14 for 13 against the 1 for 1. They're doing a great job of securing Notel farm and making sure that General can't get a look in at all on the Doom.
This is, in my opinion, one of Notel's best heroes. Yeah. Whenever he's playing these micro heroes, he always seems to stand out.
This mid.
Don't fly.
Rezo trying to get in.
He gets put in low ground.
Oh no! Oh no,
He's
Rezo!
dead.
The RNG has played him and it will cost him his life. I think, well, out of all the illusions, was that he the only one to go on the low ground?
He was the only one to get dropped on.
Oh, and Dendy gets an easy kill because of that.
That is very costly.
Now Roger, back in the mid lane.
Dendy's Death Prophet has been, like I said, he has 100% win rate in the 2 games, and they tend to really make the game all about Dendy's Death Prophet when he plays it. They stack up a lot of jungle camps for him. just enable him to have an excellent game. And with the save like Seneko, it can be pretty nice. The Winter Wyvern always likes seeing Death Prophet having at least one saving hero for himself. No Tail going for the bounty rune versus General. He's got Savage Roar. He's gonna fear him away, take the bounty. OG will claim 2. Or 3 of those bounty runes. Regen rune top for Dendi.
The dream. With that double null, the CSing in the mid lane will be even easier. More of a chance of getting those denies.
General top, it's level 5 bear now. He has to start being very careful.
He does.
Going to this lane. This lane is actually an absolute disaster here for Navi.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do it as a one-man doom. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Mid lane. Dendi moving in. Rezo and Fly getting very, very low. Roger coming in with a sweep round, but Jerax is there. Should be enough to hold the 2 back. Roger does get the void on the Fly. Fat flies forward and takes down Fly. Fly will be the kill. Roger goes for the quick TP out. Is that man going to make it? No, he's not. Damage is there from OG. Rezo will be able to get the return fire kill. Top lane, though, look at it. As we're saying, generally, he's just been zoned all the way back out of the lane. He can't.
Yeah,
he can't go to this lane on his own.
He's going to have an incredibly early Midas timing for No Tail.
Yep.
And, I mean, S4, almost level 6 already on the Brewmaster versus the Lifestealer. His last hits are really solid, too. 17 and 3. Bottle now picked up. He's able to sustain in this lane quite nicely until Nightstalker makes a rotation down. So a lot of the pressure is on Roger for this laning phase. Although Navi is still about 1k gold advantage because of how well Dendi's doing in mid lane.
Let's see what General can do in terms of trying to catch him in the jungle. Down towards the bottom of the middle. They found Seneko. Rezo trying with the chase down. Seneko will be able to flap his way back to safety with the Arctic Burn over the cliffs.
He's 4th level 6. Yeah. He's actually starting to bully Crystallize a bit.
He's having a really nice time down bottom.
26 last hits to the 35 of the Lone Druid. Yep. So you can see that the impact that S4 is already having. Fly, looking for get a glimpse here on Seneko. Seneko gets onto the high ground though. And yeah, we see Rogers really trying to get this courier snipe.
Some top class micro from OG. We'll keep it alive though.
Puts a ward down. He's still hunting for it. He's not going to be able to find it.
There's no ways to get it now. He could try and get it for this little guy. What? Oh, he does!
He gets it?
He gets it! Through that little pathing there on the side. That looked like he shouldn't get away with that at all. And I think OG, they did not expect that. They just sent it straight down the top. They didn't think he'd come a-hunting with that ward down. And, wow, Roger. What a courier snipe. In a situation that looks to be impossible mid lane. Dendi gets glimpsed back. There's going to be the primal split from S4. They look to control and Cold Embrace. Keeping Dendi alive for now, but it's also bought time for Resolution to close the gap. They're surrounded. Dendi, OG, they'll bring him down for sure. Siphon's not enough to keep that man alive, and Fly also surviving gets away.
Great aggressive play with the first Panda split. They find the mid laner. Absolutely. All because of how well S4's lane has gone. But yeah, losing that courier, that means the Midas won't be delivered at such an early point for No Tail. Jerax now being chased by Roger.
Oh.
Kicks him away, rolls out.
And Roger can't finish that a little too far. I mean, I say that he can't. I said he couldn't do something before, and he's proven me wrong. Roger's been very persistent with his plays, and you know what? He's only going to go and do it. Roger, ladies and gentlemen.
He's stepping it up.
He really is. Mid lane, and now look towards Rezo. He has the silence. They're closing the gap, and Roger, I tell you what, he's really doing it. He absolutely is. Double kill for Roger. And a massive kill as well. Surely he's not getting out. Now this is the end to Roger's glory. Can he escape?
Will he deny himself?
Oh, no way. Roger. Oh, he doesn't. Fly gets the kill.
The dragon backswing. Too much.
Yeah, Thunderstrike from Fly will seal the deal. But still, though, massive impact from Roger with those movements around mid and causing a bit of an issue for Resolution.
That's a solid first 4 minutes in the first nighttime for Roger. He should be very happy with himself. I cannot believe he got that courier snipe. That was the biggest one for me.
Roger. Yeah, what a man.
What a series of events.
And 5-3. Navi getting the kills. Farm still looking good though for OG overall up top. Seneko trying to finish off the bear. They've got the Savage Roar to push General away, but he'll close back in with the net. Can they get that money? Doesn't look like they can. The bear's too speedy. The bear will be out there. In fact, mid lane, they've got the TPs in because OG got a bit aggressive. Roger's trying to chase down Jerax. They've got the Siphon onto Rezo. Rezo falling very low. Will be fine. He's able to break the distance. But Navi really keeping a lot of focus on this mid lane, making sure that Dendi's safe and Dendi's able to have the potential to nearly turn around some of these engagements. And Rezo falling very low each and every time. He has to be careful on this PL, and he's falling behind a little bit now.
Yeah. So Noto did send the bear back to base to grab that Midas, so he does have it finished up at a very nice timing for that, and he's going to continue to surge forward in that net worth. But no, Dendi's still ahead of him because of that kill that he did get early on. And now Dendi will start to do the jungle. As I was mentioning, you know, they really like prioritizing having Dendi go to the jungle around like level 7 on most of his heroes, and then giving the supports the lane so they can catch back up. And Roger needs levels. Although he's had such great rotations, he's still only level 4 at 9 minutes. How's Crystallize doing? On the way toward the armlet, so he's doing pretty nice. He doesn't have that natural delivery system that we usually do see for the Lifestealer picks. Big standout though is definitely No-Tail and S4, how spectacular they've done throughout the laning phase.
S4 level 8 on this brute. And very good farm as well.
10 minutes coming around. I see some tomes being eaten up, so people get their level 6s. Jarex is very low level 2 though, it's on the Earth Spirit, only level 3. So supports pretty low level this game, but on the other side, the cores are doing very nicely on both sides.
So Neko and Dendi put this movement ready to do something about No-Tail. He's had such an easy lane up top, but this rotation could cause issues. The Dooms drop down. They're ready with the chase down. Ghost out as well. No-Tail, no way he gets out of that one. Big rotation from Navi. They take the kill. They'll look for an objective as well with those Ghosts up as they move towards the tier 1 top.
Mid lane Rezo and Jerax tried to go for the Night Stalker too. Jerax was just off the mark with the Boulder Smash though. They're gonna put the threat in the tower though with this DD Phantom Lancer though, while at top the Exorcism goes to work on that tower. Very nice moving coming out from Navi. Crystallize forces S4 back, but S4, 10-minute off-lane Blink Dagger. He got no help. That was a solo Brewmaster off-lane.
No, he's done this a couple of times today with the puck game as well, getting a very good Blink Dagger timing. And if anything, yeah, this one even more impressive doing it on a Brew in this situation.
Mid tower, they're trying to secure it. No-Tail rotates in. He'll be able to claim it. Oh, Catapult actually gets it, but they still get it.
Crystallize, as you said, with that armlet. Not really the best of heroes to sort of traverse him around and look for the ganks on Navi's lineup. No one really with that Blink initiation. And talking about Blink initiation, S4 comes in on top of Crystallize.
Crystallize queued up a Maelstrom afterwards too, to deal with those the PL. We've seen pretty much exclusively Lifestealers go for the Armlet Desolator build so they can take out towers. But I guess this time, since he has Death Prophet, he's prioritizing being that fighter.
See what they can do here, Roger. Moving on to Jerax Silence. With the damage from Crystallize. Jerax is gone. TP coming in from Fly. Let's see if he can set up for something in return. He does have to be a little careful himself. S4 comes in with the Blink. It has the Primal Split available. Quick Infest into the creep as they look to get out of there. Crystallize is going to be fine. Roger a little less so, unless the TP is successful. Oh, it is. Roger. Next minute you see him, next minute you don't. He's out of there. He survives.
Roger's having so much impact across the map. He needs to. When they're playing versus this type of lineup versus a lone druid PL. They can't really slow down the pace. Dendi now beating on the mid tower. This creep is still running around. Crystallize is still infested inside of it. It's moving toward the mid lane.
No-Tail getting a serious amount of damage done to that tier 1 top. But as you say, mid lane, that's where the focus. Here comes that creep, as you mentioned. It's got Crystallize in. In he goes, jumps he out. He's got the 2-man silence from Dendi to set up for Fly. Fly down. Jared's trying to roll away, but Roger there with the body block. They'll get themselves a second.
Navi keeping up the aggression. Level 6s on both of the supports already on the side of Navi, while you look at on the side of OG. Level 5 on Fly, and only level 4 on Jerax, and they've already used the Tome.
2k gold lead here for Navi, 9 for 3. Dendi and the Death Prophet.
So Midas as well coming out toward General on that Doom, so they're trying to just keep that economy game going, at least on the Doom, while pressuring with the other two heroes.
And he is absolutely making the recovery. We saw how hard of a time he's having in lane. He's now, bam, only a few hundred gold behind S4's Brew, and S4 had a great lane.
Yeah.
So General playing it very nicely on the sort of comeback.
They're going into the Roche pit. This is with Seneko having the 2-0-3 build, having none in Splinter Blast. I
don't think OG know this is going on. They've got no intention of heading over by the looks of it, and even if they did...
It's only a level 1 exorcism though, so it's not being brought down in that very quick pace that we do see. But it does seem like they might be able to get it here. OG though, maybe they do know it's coming. They're smoked up. They don't have ultis on the supports though.
They have the primal split. Jarax, he's looking for some sort of a setup for his boulder smash in. He's going to get the stun onto Dendi. Dendi, he's got the Yule Scepter. Buys time to keep himself alive. The Exorcism heal coming in as long with the Cold Embrace. Dendi back up to full health. The Primal Spirit from S4. They're trying to contest this Roche. Roshan's still alive for now. Can they actually get it? Resolution. He's been doomed though. Crystallize goes through. The Raider get the kill, but Rezo snatches the Aegis. And that is huge. He was doomed up, but he's going to be back for round 2. Is it enough to turn the tides though against Navi? Because Dendi moving in with a Siphon has to slow onto S4. S4 gets crushed by Roger. Double kill for the Night Stalker. Dendi's got the Yule set up as he looks towards Rezo. Rezo, one more jump up to the high ground, but Roger's there ready and waiting. Has the silence, has the void. He needs more though to hold back this TP, and it's not going to be there. Rezo will get out. But overall, Navi, they get the big kills. They do get Roshan. Sure, Rezo is able to snatch the Aegis, but it's still a good fight for Navi.
Those ghosts came in at the perfect time. That Yule Scepter, he gets healed up all the way to full. The Cold Embrace from Seneko. Such nice teamwork coming out from Navi here. If the level 6s were on OG on the supports, this fight would have been a disaster for Navi. But the fact that they're so under-leveled here, the curse comes out, holds back the supports, and then it's just S4 trying to take out Dendi there. And we see in the back, the courier was sniped as well from Roger. But Rezo gets doomed up, still able to claim the Aegis though and survive throughout all that. And that's the pretty impressive thing for OG. But still, Navi looking really solid in this early game. OG needs more time. They need this lone druid to have time to get that Radiance online. Level 6 level now attained onto Fly, but Jarax still level 5 now at the 16-minute mark on his signature Earth Spirit.
Look at this lead that Navi are getting. They are playing this phenomenally. And now, Jarax, he's rolled into this one. And he has got backup. S4's there as well with the jump in. They'll look towards General. The crippling fear on S4 making him miss a lot of these hits. Doesn't matter though. They've got the magical to take down General. See if they can catch Roger as well. Roger already on the retreat down bottom. Navi, they catch No Tail, the bigger kill. Sure, OG, they get the grab back onto Roger. He'll try for the TP out. He will not make it. So OG, they do get to, but they're losing No Tail. So Navi, they are fine with this trade. As long as they can keep tabs on No Tail, keep the bear behind, Navi are happy with the flow of the game.
Yeah, I think he had bought his relic before he died though, so doesn't lose a crazy amount of gold, but still big situation there for Navi because they can turn this into a tower push with the level 2 exorcism.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is an insane push, of course. Dendi. Now the team General ready to join in as well.
Crystallize is queued up at Deso next. So he looks like he also wanted to be able to just push out lanes with this Maelstrom since it's only really Dendi to be that lane pusher on their team.
Oh, no G, they're going to come across and try and put a stop to this push maybe. Jarax on the sidelines, looking for some sort of a jump in. It's so hard though to take this fight, especially when the Ghost shot. They have to go, but General walks and he gets the Doom straight off onto Jarax, chasing down the Earth Spirit. Jarax doesn't get to do a single thing. The curse is there onto Fly. Fly beaten down by his own teammates. As OG they have to back up. Savage Roar's there, trying to hold back Navi. General gets the slow onto the bear. The Siphon's there as well, as they're doing their best to chase it down. They won't get the bear, but they will get the space to do more damage to this tier 2, and they should be able to finish it, and indeed they do. Navi claim another tower. Roger now with Solar Crest complete as well.
Navi's teamwork is off the charts now.
They are stepping it up.
Their warding, the way they collapse with their vision, and just their spell usage in the fights has been phenomenal. And OG just really suffering. We've talked a lot about how Disruptor, when you're playing this hero and you're a deficit and you're getting ran at, it's very hard because ideally you want to be able to get those glimpse plays off, but you can't when you're just being ran at like this. Jarax, level 5 still. He's still unable to find that magnetize.
He's got to be careful how far he comes down this mid lane. Roger will go in on him if he's not too careful. As you say, No Tail desperately needs that Radiance. He's got to have it complete soon if he wishes to keep up with the farm speed that both Crystallize and Dendi are producing. Dendi on the Death Prophet making just fantastic key rotations. getting these objectives and actually going for the BKB, so, and he's pretty much got the BKB done. And Bonham No-Tail trying to finish off this tower. So Quick Savage Roar will get in the space to do so, and that will be the Radiance complete for the Bear.
They can start to play a little bit around him, but they're still on a massive road to recovery. They have a lot more time before they can really take these engagements versus Navi. Manta style almost going to be finished up for Rezo. Still very hard for them to take these fights into Exorcism. I don't really see them taking fights into Exorcism.
You have the silence here, Jerax. It's not to Crystallize. Crystallize still with a chance to rage afterwards, though. Turns straight towards Jerax, who's trying for the TP out, won't make it. Void's there from Roger. Oh, surely? Oh, is he going to live, Jerax? Okay, they just sort of leaving because Crystallize has to get out of there. And now Crystallize, he's in trouble. There'll be a cold embrace, but the Static Storm's down, surrounding Crystallize. Winter's Curse comes through, but Crystallize, he's already gone. The Brewlings get him, and now the rest of Navi just having to back away.
Dire's top
Roger
tower is under attack.
should be fine now as S4 will blink out. No-Tail as well back in off as soon as he sees Dandy come through. And he will use up the Bear, but the kinetic field makes sure that the Bear gets out of there.
That's a significant kill.
That was quite a...
Jerax survived somehow.
I can't believe they didn't hit him.
He was in, so Lifesteal was infested, and he wanted
didn't
to wait
want to jump out?
He wanted to wait for his rage to come back up because he was afraid. But
Fair
he
enough.
ends up paying with his life anyway. Jerax lives.
I mean, that looked like Jerax was a sure dead end, but he gets out of there. Navi let him be.
Still 7k gold advantage for Navi. And it's pretty ridiculous how farmed Roger is too, with that Solar Crest now finished up, going for Halberd for the Bear. Dendi too, Arcane Rune, BKB Yules, Exorcism at the ready. So Navi, they should look to take a fight here. While they know the Panda Split is down, this is their window to make aggressive plays come out. Also nighttime for the next 3.5 minutes.
See what how's Rezo doing after that?
He's got the Manta finished.
Okay.
But he needs a lot more.
Yeah, he needs all the defensive items with the amount of single target that Navi have with their ultimates. As we're seeing Roger, eyes onto Fly. Flies back into safety with the kinetic field down.
Navi's not even having to use their Exorcism for this tier 2. There's no Glyph available. They might actually just try to threaten the high ground with the Exorcism Arcane Rune here.
I mean, yeah, definitely with the Arcane.
As OG is not ready to fight. There's still no split for another 20 seconds.
He's coming back. He's got the Vlad's complete. Dendi yet to pop the Exorcism, but you know he's thinking about it. And here we go. The ghosts are out. Navi ready to try and take a tier 3 and more on this mid lane. Can OG stop it? Quick Savage over the Bear's dead.
The Solar Crest just makes the Bear die so quickly with that Exorcism.
They've got the Primal Split back up. And there's the jump. S4 immediately looking for Dendi. Dendi already falling low. In fact, Dendi is going to be kept alive by the Cold Embrace. Static Storm's down, making sure that the Doom can't get his ultimate off. There'll be the BKB and the self-heals from Dendi, buying time to get himself out of there, and he'll be fine for now. Winter's Curse only onto an illusion, as Suneko desperately tries to hold back OG as they look to chase down Navi's members. S4 has the micro, has the control, bursts down the Wyvern, jump out from Crystallize, silence for the crippling fear of Roger, will be enough to take down S4. Now OG, they're running back to base. Roger flies up to the high ground, he looks towards Fly, but Reza jumps forward with the Spirit Lance, turns towards Roger. Roger gets the kill, he's trying to get himself out of there. Is it enough for the Solar Crest evasion? He may just make it, no! The Spirit Lance comes in, Reza will be able to claim the life of Roger. So Navi poking maybe a little too much there, as OG will get a couple of kills. Sure, it does cost them a couple of lives themselves, but they do hold the base, they do keep that tier 3 alive, and they do make sure that the Exorcism push is unsuccessful.
The first game in 188 games of Jerax that he failed to hit level 7 before 20 minutes. Yeah, he's really been having a tough time here versus Navi this go around.
He's got to keep his cool in the game where it matters the most. Arguably one of the biggest games that OG has been in a long time. So much rest on this game for OG.
They need more time. They can't be. They still are really struggling to fight versus Navi at this moment.
On top, Rezo and No-Tail ready to chase down Dendi. They know that his BKB is still unavailable for a little bit.
General gets the Doom
down. Indeed, General gets the Doom on the right target. Resolution, he's trying to run quick silence from Jerax. He's going to miss the boulder smash though, so Dendi, he can still continue to close this gap. Resolution, he can't get out of this. Dendi gets the kill. Rezo is down. Jerax having to retreat.
General, in the midst of all those illusions, finds the right target instantly with the
beautiful play for General. And if Jerax had hit that smash, Rezo may have survived. Jerax now in trouble himself. Quick glimpse from Fly to peel the Night Stalker off him.
That was the fresh pickup of General's Blink Dagger too. Blink into the War Stomp. Now War Stomp is a lot faster because of the animation changes that have happened in the recent patch.
Here we go, another tower for Navi. 10k gold lead, 23 minutes in. They are playing the pressure and the speed that they needed to with the draft that they had.
Yeah, now with the blink on Doom as well, they have that infest bomb for the lifestealer. And Roger getting closer and closer to that halberd. He is extremely tanky. Seneko might pay with his life up here. The curse comes out, the TP.
Oh, Seneko.
And he's gone.
He's off, he's out. Desto now complete for lifestealer. A bit of a, it was no-tail as well with his build. Actually picks up the blade mail at this stage for the bear.
Just want some armor, some way to reflect some of the damage because they're focusing so much. Very good versus Death Prophet as well, the exorcism.
But OG, as we said, if they can keep this game going, they are going to be in sort of greener pastures, but at the moment, it's just looking like Navi are not letting that happen. But the speed and the pressure that they're putting on, sure, Navi are still yet to break the base, but they've come very, very close to it each and every time, and Dendi's still absolutely massive on this Death Prophet, top of the net worth.
Yeah, Dendi's huge. General went for the Midas so that he's getting pretty massive. Roger as well, he has 7,600 net worth. When you look at the supports on OG, they have nowhere near that. But here, Seneko, they get a grab on him here.
Oh, and S4 jumps in on the back. He's got the thunderclap onto 2. Immediate stun onto Dendi. Will disable the Night Stalker, giving the space for OG to find the kill onto Seneko. They'll chase down Dendi. Another stun. Dendi's getting low. He's had to pop the BKB. Goes for the TP out. Will make it, but Roger's not going to be as fortunate. 4 heroes of OG surround the Night Stalker, claiming Roger's life as well for sure. He's not going to get away. 2 down. OG getting the kills. And an S4 again, he's been making these plays time and time again. These blink initiations there, forcing both Seneko and Dendi to scatter and just tearing them away from any sort of chance of pulling together a team fight themselves and turning back on OG.
S4's really putting the team on his back here mostly, but Jarex with a clean initiation. The stun actually catches Dendi here on the left side too, you see.
And then
S4 able to get that follow-up.
Look at this disable, just holding both of them in place. And no choice but to run. And eventually, as we see, Dendi having to pop the BKB as well. Does save his life, but that is a BKB charge down. And kills for OG.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Roche is ready. Dendi just shy of the level 18.
Oh, there's a DD Rin as well outside of it, and they want to go. Diffusal Blade picked up for Resolution. Can OG get to this pit in time? It's going to be quite some speed that him out.
I don't know if they can contest without Bruce Split. It's really tough. And at the speed it dies to with Solar Crest Exorcism, it's just
Desto, double damage. Roshan's gone. No chance for OG in that respect.
Aegis Cheese. Exorcism is expended though, so maybe right when they have split up, OG can try to look for some pickups here away from that Aegis and Cheese. Still though, super difficult for them. Navi looking at so crisp in this game. Daytime for another minute and a half. Navi, probably when they've got Exorcism in nighttime, that'll be the next time they try to go for any type of pressure. Maybe go for a smoke play after that.
General as well with his itemization, closing in on the Shiva's Guard. So we can have that extra sort of chase and very good against the PL.
Yeah, really helps you find the actual PL, and it's just good versus both the Lone Druid and Phantom Lancer, because it's that minus attack speed will really help them.
And talking about the Lone Druid, I don't know if he'll follow through, but I like the itemization with Noto. He's got the Aghanims queued up. I think he knows that if he can split push, you know, Navi, they need to go for the 5-man push. It's very hard for them to deal with any sort of split push pressure, so an Aghanims Lone Druid bear, that could do wonders this game.
OG, they've got a ward on the high ground here.
Jump forward, looking for Seneko, no chance to react. Instant silence for Jarex, Seneko's down. Now, oh, Crystallize, he's trying to fight this. He has got the Aegis, he's going to come into the middle of it all. There's going to be a buyback from Seneko. Navi do want to try and turn this fight. They get the silence onto the Brew. S4 does have the primal split if he gets the chance to do so. Great smash from Jarex, holds back Navi. They've got the Yule set up onto S4. S4, can he get the ult out in time? No, he can't. Gets shredded by Crystallize. And they've managed to get the target again. General, each and every time, finding the real Rezo, bringing him down. They've got the control on the bear. They're going to look to beat down on the Lone Druid's bear as well. And with the chase, they may just get this one as well. 3 kills for Navi. As Seneko comes in with the buyback, and what a time to do so. Knows that Navi have to, and they absolutely can take these fights at these stages, a full 5v5. And they've done it here. They get the 3 kills. No-Tail still alive. Picks up the point booster. He is indeed committing for the Ags. He knows he's got to push out as many lanes as he can, as possible, to alleviate the pressure that Navi are applying as a group, as a unit.
Exorcism level 18 at the ready here. OG, they've got split up.
Boy, they have indeed. Still 15 seconds, no rezo. No tail is keeping the split pressure on us at the moment on the top lane.
She finds Seneko too. The blade mail from the bear actually finishing him off. Don't think Seneko expected that blade mail. And that actually forces Navi to get back. They're a bit threatened by all this, by the respawns from OG. Is there any glimpse catches? Fly nowhere near in range to get anybody here.
Rezo jumps down. He tries to. Crystallizes already out with the TP. But that is half health for the tower. We know Lone Druids, they have this ratting potential. Honestly, like if No-Tail continues to play as he is, this sort of split could be the end of Navi in this game. Even though OG are so far behind, it is the classic way to come back when you can't take a team fight. Just go for the rat plays.
Yep. Dendi almost has Octarine finished up. It's gonna be a really huge pickup for him. Roger as well is going for one, and then S4 having the BKB will probably be one of the bigger item pickups for OG in the next several minutes. But Rezo really struggling in this game as the Phantom Lancer. 4-4, catching decently up in the last hits, but he just keeps getting found out here by General.
Lead the charge. Looking for Rezo. Oh, they're gonna find Fly. Fly down for 30. Rezo should be fine.
Navi's actually just relentless in this game.
Gold for my top. Coin.
Exorcism not there for 50 seconds.
They're looking for some kind of pick off into this push. They know that the glyph isn't ready. They want to take advantage of that during this 2 minutes more of nighttime.
The side lane's getting shoved in pretty heavily. No-Tail down the bottom, S4 up the top.
The scan actually finds somebody down here.
Oh, Rezo. He may not be prepared for this one. He's going to pop the doppelganger. Roger, can he find the target? Oh, he actually may be in trouble himself. Rezo turns with the diffusal blade. Roger falling low, but there's the jump in. They clear out the illusions. They found Rezo. Rezo is gone. Navi.
That scan. They saw the illusions in the bottom side pushing out, but that scan catches exactly on top of him. Now it's 40 seconds. Rezo. Navi's trying to force a buyback. 5 seconds till that exorcism.
No-Tail does force out the fortification. The bear down bottom. Pushing in. Here we go with the ghost out. They should get these melee racks. No trouble at all in the mid lane. Dendi. Can they make any sort of jump on him whilst the ghosts are up? It would be hard to do so, and indeed they have to respect the power. They have to let it go. That's going to be the melee racks down. They'll beat down the bear as well. It's falling low. It's going to be 300 easy gold for Dendi and the lads. As now they go up to top lane. Navi looking for more than just one racks. Trying to bully OG into submission here. As OG stand with their backs against the wall. All hopes and dreams on this game for them. They need the win to make it to a major. And Navi doing a fantastic job at making sure that that's not going to happen. They're at a 15k gold lead. They're racks up.
It's looking extremely grim for OG. Navi already has the itemization that even if the game goes to later and later stages, I don't even think OG can take it because of this Mjolnir on Lifestealer and just how massive they really are. Dendi's going to have Octarine finished now too. And they've got the tools to deal with that split push too. You see General building that Shadow Blade now on top as well. He's going to be able to find whenever that bear is going for the split push. OG.
That Octarine as well on Dendi. I mean, you said at the start, you sort of looked at, you know that the times we've seen Dendi play this hero, he's played it masterfully, and this game is no exception. An immaculate Death Prophet performance.
7-1-7. Yeah, he's part of 14 kills. Roger as well, 7-5-10. He's got a couple deaths to his name, but the pressure that he's been applying with this Night Stalker has been spectacular. The movement from Navi has been just all around excellent.
OG moving now as a group back towards the mid lane. They have their ults. How until Exorcism's back up?
30 seconds.
It's a little bit of time that OG can try and abuse. Tower will be denied. Dendi.
Ag's finished on Night Stalker now too, so the vision game is going to go massively in favor of Navi. And you see Rezo 5th on the net worth as a Phantom Lancer.
Definitely.
They need him to be much higher in these type of instances.
The roughest game for Rezo today.
Yeah. He's not big enough to deal with the heroes of Navi by any means right now.
Eyeing up Dendi. They do get the glimpse back. It's the kinetic field. Dendi just had the BKB though. They're trying to poke, maybe hoping to get a charge out of him. Quick blink from S4 as General comes in. The blink stomp. S4 is able to get out just in time. Roger continuing to chase a little bit. The blink back up. S4 should be A-okay.
OG needs a lot more time in this game. They still need several more items on Rezo to take any of these kind of fights.
Just closing in on the Lincolns. Just that.
That'll help versus the Doom.
Guy. I mean, yeah, you've got to give hats off to General. We've seen multiple times dooming the PL, a task that is not easy.
Yeah, and with the Shivas, he can always pretty much find that real one. They've already got a lot of different ways to break that Lincoln Sphere, though, when it is out. They have got the Halberd, they've got all of Night Stalker's spells as well. Look at No-Tail, just trying to be as annoying as possible. Needs to cut the creep waves, needs to prolong this game for OG to have a chance.
How's the Arms looking on No-Tail after the axe? Has he got the...
He hasn't really bought too much else. I think he had a Hyperstone on the bear.
S4.
General still on the prowl all the time with the Shadow Blade and Crystallize infested. Crystallize almost with a full AC finished up on top of that Mjolnir. And he's starting to get those big talents up. Level 20, the 20% evasion can be very nice versus a Phantom Lancer as a lifestealer. Yep. Very hard to get that focus down.
Navi's 3 cores are just on another level compared to what OG have at this stage of the game. There's no doubt about that at all. Crystallize, Dendi, and General playing like absolute beasts. Yeah. Mask of Madness indeed for No-Tail. Get on the bear. If he gets that bear on the towers, it do quite a bit with this Hyperstone and Mask of Madness. That is if Navi give it the chance to get that far out. And General is on the hunt with Crystallize. Nice bear.
Yeah, that's literally what they're going for here with the Shadow Blade. Roshan was just scouted by Roger too, and that's the third Rosh. Refresher Shard will be available if Navi wants to go for it. It's starting to get pinged out. That's where they want to take the fight. I don't know how OG can take this fight versus them either. Into that Exorcism, into such a heavily farmed lifestealer. They're just at way too much of a deficit. Secondary bear is scouted. They almost actually got the second bear.
This is an easy rush for Navi. They cannot come out and contest this OG. And with the AC for Crystallize complete, and as you said, well, this is going to be with the Refresher Shard.
Yep.
And is it going to go the way of Dendi?
It sure is.
Double Exorcism. How on earth to OG hold the base against that sort of push?
He gives it to General.
Okay.
Double Doom, looking to be more important.
I mean, that as well.
Yeah. Take out 2 heroes from the fight. I mean, OG can't even win a 5v5. How the hell will they win a 3v5 if he gets 2 Dooms on anybody? Or on 2 targets? OG. Feeling the pressure. No-Tail trying his best to split push these waves with the bear, but he's terrified.
He knows they're hunting for it.
Yeah.
Each and every time Navi are on the hunt for the bear.
He can't lose this bear just yet either. 30 seconds till the next 3 summon though. They're hunting for it. Look at Roger walking along the tree lines. He knows it's somewhere around here. He sees it.
They want that bear. The ping's coming out. General closing the gap. They found the bear. And that bear ain't going home tonight. Easy goal for Crystallize. The bear down. As you say, he does have the resummon up sooner. But again, the fact that he has to resummon and then there's that extra period once again where No-Tail has to play so careful. He can not afford to lose this bear, especially if it happens at the same time Navi are pushing him.
Do you see what's in Dendi's bottle as well? He's got the Arcane Rune.
Oh my goodness. Navi, they are on the verge of doing this. There's no doubt about that. I do not know how OG swing this one around. They're so far behind. 21k gold lead for Navi.
It's just getting to more and more of a deficit. They're just engaging in. Dendi, no hesitation.
How do they stop this man? Roger jumps in, looking for S4. BKB comes out from S4. Will be able to get himself away from General and Crystallize. They turn towards the structures. Fortification comes out. S4 comes in, does manage to get the primal split off. He looks towards General. Has he got the control to deal with him, though? Doppelganger pop from Rezo as he tries to force General back out with the illusions. Quick sweep to the back of the fight from S4 to check out the back lines. Static Storm's not going to actually catch anyone. He looks towards Dendi, but Dendi pots the BKB. He's taken the tier 3. He's now looking towards the ranged racks. No-Tail is trying for the wrap. He's moving in with the bear. He will get the tier 3 tower. He is onto the racks as well. Seneko with the Winter's Curse holds back the bear. And they will be able to bring the bear down. Can he get the racks in time? He cannot. The bear is gone. Back down towards the bottom as well. Jerax has fallen. Crystallize is surrounded though. OG, they will claim the Lifestealer once. Can they do it a second time though? That is the question. The field is down. They look for the instant lockdown. They've got the Savage Roar smashing into Crystallize. He's out of mana. Gets the Rage off in time. Turns towards S4. S4's down. Double kill for Crystallize. Jump back in from General. He's trying to save Crystallize, but he may not be able to do so. Oh, the silence. Rezo pops the Manta style, trying to retreat. They won't kill Crystallize a second time. They just have to get out of there themselves. And Cheese is out. Crystallize being given the cheddar by Dendy's back up to full life. They're back in with another exorcism. Navi claiming these bottom racks. There's 40 seconds without the bear. No primal split available for S4 as he is in the sidelines.
It looks like GG.
And General's jumping in. He's trying his best to poke at them. No tails come back for the defense. They get the glimpse back onto General, but General, he looks for the Doom. We'll get it down to Jerax. Jerax getting himself back to the fountain, but the Ancient's exposed. Navi are moving in with the Ghost. OG, there's no way they can stop this. It's going to be GG. It's going to be game over. OG's road to the major comes to an end as Navi, they come in with an incredible crushing force. What a victory for Navi. What a performance. We'll be seeing them at the major, of course, and now with this loss, we'll be seeing VP feeling very relieved that Navi pulled it together in this last game. But for OG, a very bitter end to an incredibly, incredibly painful day for them. They look so close, but this final game was an absolute nail in the coffin. There was just no hope in this one. Navi just playing on another level.
This looked like the draft that I've seen Navi play with so often recently, and they look so dominant with it. Every single person just doing exactly what they need to do. Seneko ate a couple deaths, but that was perfectly fine. The situations where he did die, that one big one where he did die, bought back instantly. General finding the perfect Doom targets every time, and do we even need to say Roger? I mean, Roger had such a spectacular performance in the first 15-20 minutes. And then, yeah, Dendy and Crystallize, as usual, carrying their weight. That was really spectacularly played from Navi and OG. I have not seen Jerax had such a rough game in a very, very long time.
It was hard. He had a tough one indeed. He really did. But
really
Navi,
impressive.
I mean, absolutely deserved of this victory here. 25k lead. What a play. We have to bring the panel back in. The end of OG's dreams here as they were hoping for that spot in the major. But Navi, they absolutely, you know, they played their hearts out. And what a performance, guys.
That was a very rough game for them. I mean, after the start didn't go well for them, it was an uphill struggle for sure. Thank you so much for that cast. And I mean, Virtus Pro, congratulations on making it to the major. But let's talk about this game because I mean they tried, they fought hard, but I think it kind of fell apart early on in the game already. Charlie.
Yeah, I think when we predicted that OG would win, we'd expect that Jerax would have a bigger impact on the game. But it was so rough. He was so underleveled. He felt like there wasn't a lot he could do on the map. And then the sort of attempts that he did make were sort of fell flat because he didn't have those levels.
Yeah, normally I would just be like, it's okay, you know, some players have an off day, but in that particular draft, he was the initiator.
Yeah.
In terms of versus Lifestealer. Sure, you can have the Panda jump in, clap, and then ult, but against a Lifestealer, that doesn't matter. You need to get off that key silence to start with. Disruptor technically had the kit to do it, but, you know, he needs a blink or something like that.
Yeah.
So Disruptor, or sorry, Earth Spirit not hitting level 6 to like minute 20 something was just not going to cut it. He needed to have a decent game. Not an explosive one, just a decent one. And, well,
he didn't.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I believe we are talking to a Vost. Hey, Vost.
Hello. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Same here. It's very nice that we qualified, but it's still we are in awkward situation that we should choose between, like not choose, but it's either a resolution or like Virtus Pro, and it's hard choice. But we tried our best. We still played our game, so yeah, that's how it works.
Did you think a lot about that, about having Virtus Pro's fate in your hands, basically, when you were playing those games, or rather coaching those games?
I don't like it, to be honest, because like the main aim for you is to qualify for the tournament, and after you qualified, you don't want to think about what's gonna happen in next games and stuff like that. And here we were preparing hard for game versus OG, and like I'm not talking about first game. Yeah, it was kind of awful for us. But second game we thought about draft, and it went well, and it's nice.
It did. It was a really good game.
Yes. My heart was breaking when Notail bought Aghanims, but my guys knew about that, and they stalked the bear sometimes, and I think it decided the game.
Yeah, destroyed destroyed the bear for sure as well.
Yes.
Although since you've been on the coach, the team has been doing very well. What have you done in particular? Like sharing your experiences as a player, or
I'm giving high fives all the time, and that's how it works.
I think that's a very important
for
job.
sure, I'm not gonna share my secrets because other people are listening. You know. Okay.
Can you tell us anything without sharing any secrets about what has changed with Navi in the past month or so?
Yes, we're improving all the time, I think, because we have new players who still are not very experienced on LAN, especially, but online also. You still have some handshaking versus some teams with huge names like Liquid, Secret, or Virtus Pro, or OG, you know, so the practice versus them is the great for us, so we try to play a lot against them, but not often we can do this. They don't want to practice with us, and when we have the possibility to play it, it's very nice. We're getting experience. Then we're thinking about it and with whole team, and it gives us more information about what we should do against particular teams. So because none of us was a drafter before. I wasn't a drafter when I was playing, and in Navi, Saneiko wasn't a captain, I think, ever. And we still have some problems with drafts, but we try to make solid decisions, and with time, it's getting better and better.
How are you preparing to prepare for the major, which is already in like 2 weeks?
I think we have some tournament before. We have DreamLeague in Moscow, where we have Virtus Pro, and we are preparing for that tournament first, and then we're gonna think about major. I think we're gonna bootcamp. I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, it would be great because major is very important, especially DreamLeague.
Especially DreamLeague. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you owe me something. Chocolate.
All right, chocolates it is. Can make that happen, I'm sure. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. I'm going to let you get back to your team, and we'll see you in Sweden.
Yeah, thanks for inviting. Yeah, see you.
See you. Have a good time.
Goodbye.
That was Havos from Navi, the coach from Navi at the moment, and Navi has been, it shows, it's just Navi has been on the uprise since the start of this Dota season, as to say, and it's looking good. I mean, this last game, if he says that drafting is maybe the issue because they are not that experienced with drafting, I think they got that on lockdown.
That explains a lot. I feel like the PA pick in the first game was perhaps not the best hero for that situation. And then the second game, they just went back to what they know works.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't like the best lineup against what OG's got,
it works
comfort
for them.
Sometimes is just the most important thing.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, Liquid showed at TI7 that comfort matters a lot. It's not just about like sort of the best meta picks. It's also about putting that fear in the other team, just being able to play your style and just run at them.
Yeah. We can take one final last look at the standings for the last time. Here are your teams that qualified for the ROG DreamLeague Season 8 Major. Team Secret, Navi, Liquid, and Virtus Pro for the EU and CAS region. I love it. 2 EU teams, 2 CAS teams, as it almost as if it's scripted, but it wasn't. Don't worry, it was not. But that is really cool. I really like that happened. That means we have Newbie from China, we have Infamous from South America, we got EG from North America, we got these 4 teams from EU and CIS, and that means we're missing one team. Southeast Asia. Qualifiers for that tomorrow. Yeah. You should be, because it's going to be really close. We already have seen a lot of Southeast Asian qualifiers over the last few weeks. Tomorrow, we start at 8 a.m. with the pre-show. We're going to have Fnatic, we're going to have TNC, Mineski, Happy Feet. It's going to go down right here. We'll be here talking you through all the action. 3 best of 3s, 2 days in a row, full of CIS. No, not CIS, Southeast Asian Dota. It's late, you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning.